Welcome to Stony Brook Field for the second day in a row. The Brewster Whitecaps are at home. They are hosting the Wareham Gatemen today. I'm Maura Sheridan alongside Carter Woodeel. Aiden Doyle on sidelines. Koki Riley will have updates for us later in the game. Finally, another nice day, 2 nice days in a row, Carter. This is pretty exciting for these Brewster fans. They get to come out here. Actually, there's a game tomorrow at home, too, so 3 days in a row for Brewster fans that hadn't seen a home game this whole season.
And they're certainly due for one, right, Moore? I mean, this is a team that started off with 6 games on the road. They were going to have their home opener up against the Chatham Anglers here, but the wet weather forced the postponement of that game. So it's got to be good to have that environment. I know when you were talking to Coach Jamie Shevchik of the Whitecaps after the game yesterday, he said he was happy to have the energy at the ballpark back, and should be another good game today.
J.R. McDermott will make his second start for the Whitecaps. He's looking to build off of what was a great start for him. He is wearing number 38 for Brewster. He hails from Colorado Mesa University. That's a Division II college, but Coach Jamie Shevchik, he doesn't care about what division. He's just looking for the best pitchers he can find. And really, McDermott proved that he has quite the arm in his first debut as a Whitecap.
Yeah, he was terrific against Hyannis. The thing about J.R. McDermott, he's not one of those guys like, Zach Lingenfelter or somebody else on this Brewster team that's going to come and blow you away with any sort of velocity. For him, he's got 4 pitches. He's got a 4-seamer, a slider, a curveball, and a changeup, and he will use all 4 of those pitches regularly. He's not just peppering in some of them. He will really use them as part of his arsenal. So the key for him, he's got to command his fastball, and he's got to change speeds and keep hitters guessing. Those were 2 things he did to a T against Hyannis. 5 scoreless innings, didn't walk a batter in that game. Terrific command, and for a temporary player from a D2 school, you couldn't ask for a better start when you're trying to get a permanent place on the team.
On the opposite end, making his start for the Gatemen is pitcher Justin Hagenman. Now, he's kind of the opposite of McDermott. He didn't have the best start to his Cape Cod career. He allowed 5 runs off of 5 hits in just 1 inning pitched for the Gatemen. So he's looking for some redemption, obviously, today in the Wareham uniform.
Yeah, I got tagged with a home run in that first inning, in that first game. He won't give you the ERA. It's pretty ghastly, the 4-digit ERA. But for him coming out of a school in Penn State that had a rough season in the Big Ten, he was kind of their guy that they would lean on for a lot of innings. Wound up throwing over 80 innings pitched for the Nittany Lions this past season, including a complete game. So we'll see exactly how Wareham manager Don Shedden will handle his lineup and his pitching staff today. But that's the guy he'll be trotting out to begin things.
Well, our sideline reporter Aiden Doyle talked to Coach Jamie Shevchik before the game. Aiden, what did you learn from Coach today?
Well, specifically about McDermott, who's getting his second start on the mound. He called his first start at McKeon Park in Hyannis a tryout, so I asked him, what's his second start? And he said, we're taking it 1 start at a time with him. Obviously, like you mentioned, coming from a D2 school, you want a repeat of his start against Hyannis, and that's pretty much how they're going to go 1 start at a time and see if hopefully for Coach Shevchik, he can keep it up. So McDermott gets the ball today, and Shevchik's just looking for another performance, just like we saw on Thursday night in Hyannis.
And you also talked to Coach about Mickey Gasper, who sat out yesterday. He's been really a linchpin in this offense for the Whitecaps. What did Coach say about Gasper's state?
Well, he said Gasper wasn't 100%, but he called him a gamer, someone who's willing to play slightly injured, slightly below 100%. And we obviously know, we've seen it over the course of the first 5 or 6 games of this season, Mickey Gasper has a bat that you do not want to take out of this Whitecaps lineup. So today, with Pete Schuler sitting out with a wrist injury, not being 100% there, they don't know when they're going to get him back. Gasper gets the start. They batting him third, so that slugging bat of his is going right back into the middle of that Whitecaps lineup. And even though he's not 100%, he's a guy who Coach Shevchik is willing to put out there just to get his bat in the middle of that lineup.
Gasper batting .412. He's had 17 at-bats and 7 RBIs, 3 of which came against YD in that 7-7 tie for the Whitecaps, I guess 2 days ago, Carter.
Yes, it was a terrific game for Brewster, showing some battle back. They showed that here on this field yesterday as well against Falmouth. A back-and-forth game wound up breaking through with a couple of long home runs from Chandler Taylor. So it's been good. I'm sure Jamie Shevchik is happy to see the offense kind of break through and get some meaningful hits because their left-on-base numbers were big for Brewster. They put across 7 runners, but they still left 10 on base in that game yesterday. So that'll be something to keep in mind. How are they doing with runners in scoring position, or are they getting the big hits that can clean people off of the bases?
And it looks like Chandler Taylor is going to get a start at first base. And Aiden Doyle has more on, is that going to be his role on this team from now on?
Well, Coach Shevchik didn't exactly call it a long-term solution for first. This team's still waiting for Julian Infante out of Vanderbilt University, who Coach Shevchik's called really the only true first baseman on this roster. But Taylor obviously hitting 2 home runs yesterday to beat the Falmouth Commodores. You don't want to take that bat out of the lineup either. So they're really just kind of playing around with this lineup, trying different people out at different positions, trying to see who feels comfortable where until Infante gets here. Taylor getting the start at first base today. If it works out, it could be something you see more over the next week or so. If it doesn't, well, they have a lot of guys who have gotten opportunities at first base. It's been a troublesome position for them defensively, but they'll keep trying things out until it works.
Well, we'll get you started on who is in the lineup today for the Whitecaps. These lineups are brought to you by Chatham Bars Inn. Leading off, once again, A.J. Graffinino, the shortstop. He wears number 6. Batting 2 in the lineup, Kyle Daughtris, the third baseman. Then Mickey Gasper, the catcher. He's back at catcher. He was at first base against YD. He's been trying out a couple positions, but he's back at catcher. And back in the lineup after missing yesterday's game. Batting 4th in the lineup, Nick Dunn, the second baseman. Designated hitter Michael Curry, batting cleanup. Chandler Taylor, batting 6th. Again, he's going to be the first baseman today. The right fielder Marty Costas, batting 7th. Batting 8th, Cesar Trejo, center fielder, left fielder today. And batting 9th, rounding out the lineup for the Whitecaps, is Hunter Bishop, who is starting in center field today. Now, Bishop kind of had a rough start, 3 strikeouts, but when I talked to Chandler Taylor yesterday, he said he's not worried about his teammate. What do you expect from Bishop going into this season, Carter?
Well, you would hope that Bishop would be a little bit more patient at the plate, and we were talking about this last night when Aiden and I were in the booth about how we've seen a few of the guys that have shown up a little bit late. We saw it with Travis Swaggerty. We saw it a little bit with Steele Walker. When they go in and get that wood bat in their hands for the first time, they're a little over-aggressive. They want to make sure that they get off on the right foot in the Cape Cod League uniform. I think that's kind of what was happening with Bishop tonight. He was swinging a lot of pitches out of the zone, trying to do a little bit too much at the plate. So we'll see exactly how he does. I like the move from Shevchik, just throwing him right back in the lineup. He is at the bottom of the order at 9th, and he's out there in center field. He's a great defensive outfielder for Brewster. So it'll be interesting to see how he approaches the pitches that he'll be seeing early on from Hageman when he gets his first cracks at it.
And then for the Wareham lineup, batting leadoff Jaron Duran. He had his first game yesterday against Hyannis. Blake Sable, batting second in the lineup. He's the first baseman for the Gatemen. Willie McIver, the catcher, batting third. Batting 4th, Luke Bonfield, the right fielder. 5th, John Topa, left fielder. Jake Anchia, batting 6th, the designated hitter. 7th, Robert Metz, the third baseman. 8th, Tanner Dodson, the center fielder. And rounding out the lineup, Ben Bard, the shortstop. Who stands out? They've kind of had a rough start, and then their bat just exploded yesterday, scoring 10 runs. Who kind of stands out for you, Carter?
Yeah, anytime you get 10 runs, 13 hits, and you knock 3 baseballs out of the park, you're feeling good about your offense. You know, Coach Don Shedden, who's a manager with Wareham, he said it was really great just to kind of know that they can hit. I mean, they all knew these are all great players. These are all good lineups on McCabe, but to have a performance like that was very encouraging for them.
Well, the national anthem about to start, so we'll take a quick break. You're listening to Whitecaps Baseball. Well, we're back for the second game in a row at Stony Brook Field. The Whitecaps, J.R. McDermott taking the mound for the second time in the Cape Cod League. He got the win against Hyannis in a big start for the Whitecaps. They got 2 wins in a row, both by a 6-1 final score. Coming up for Wareham to start off this game, Jaron Duran. He wears number 10, and he'll be the second baseman for the Gatemen today. He hails from Long Beach State, a rising junior. First pitch, he shows bunt, doesn't go for it. That goes in for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. First pitch from J.R. McDermott. Second pitch, a swing and a miss from Duran. It's a 0-2 count. Duran registered his first hit yesterday in a Gatemen uniform in a big 10-2 win over Hyannis. Third pitch is low, and that's in for the first ball of the count. It's a 1-2 count. At Long Beach State, Duran has a .290 average, and he started every single game he has been in a uniform. Swings and a miss at the third pitch, so that's a strikeout to start the game for J.R. McDermott.
That's just what you want to see from J.R. McDermott if you're a Whitecaps fan. He's so good at changing speeds and keeping hitters guessing. Right there, he was out in front of that pitch. That's what he's going to need to keep doing. Command is important for him, and changing speeds is important because he doesn't have stuff that's going to blow people away necessarily.
Up next, Blake Sable for the Gatemen. He homered yesterday. One of 3 Gatemen that homered yesterday, and he hit a solo shot yesterday. The rest of them were 3-run homers. First pitch from McDermott in there for a strike. Count 0-1. Sable plays for USC and is a rising sophomore. Second count in there. It's a 1-1 count from McDermott. Sable, 16 RBIs, bat .250 in his freshman year at USC. His dad played for Long Beach State. Second pitch in there for a ball, 2-1. Sable ahead in the count.
Couple dirtbag connections in this game for the Long Beach State baseball team.
Very far away from home, but guess you got to come here for Cape. Pitch fouled out way behind the lining of the
That fastball looked like it ran away from McDermott. A little lucky there that he was able to draw a swing from Sable.
2-2 count. Sable calls for time, take a couple practice swings.
One thing about McDermott, he always, or at least in that first game against Hyannis, he was looking really loose on the mound.
1 out, even count here. McDermott's 5th pitch is fouled out towards the left side. Still an even count here in the top of the first inning. Nobody on base for the Gatemen. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That's also fouled out in the same direction. Will hit the back netting.
And that was closer, but that was another fastball. Ran that one up just a bit. Another pitch that missed there from McDermott that was able to get a swing. Obviously protecting the plate with 2 strikes is Sable.
Sable has 7 hits in a Gateman uniform this year. Calls time once again. Take a couple practice swings, get J.R. McDermott off his game. McDermott struck out Jaron Duran to start the inning. Pitch is hit well into left field, and that will drop, so that's at least a single, and he'll run right into second, so a double for Blake Sable in his first at-bat of this game. 1 out for the Whitecaps.
And it looked like Trejo out in left field misplayed that a little bit, dove for it. I guess he thought he had a chance to pull that baseball down, but it wound up trickling behind him. Recovered with a high arcing throw over to second base to nab Sable. It's funny, that was a pretty good pitch from McDermott. We saw some misses get fouled off, and then a pretty good breaking ball from McDermott gets laced over for a double. That's baseball for you.
So with a runner on second, Willie McIver comes in for the Gatemen. He has 7 runs scored, a home run, and has the 6th best batting average in the Cape League. First pitch in there for a ball from McDermott, a 1-0 count. Runner on second. McIver from Pleasant Hill, California, another Cali guy, but he plays for Washington, teammate of A.J. Graffinino, who will get the start for the Whitecaps. Second pitch, also a ball, 2-0 count.
Yeah, we've got 4 Washington Huskies on the 2 rosters for each of these teams, including a pair of high school teammates between Joe Demers and Willie McIver.
McDermott getting set, release, and that will be another ball, a 3-0 count. McIver way ahead. McIver was voted most improved by his Huskies teammates. He was also a Pac-12 honorable mention. Batted .299 for the Huskies this year and started every game. A swing and a miss on the next pitch for McIver, so it's a 3-1 count, still ahead.
Interesting to give him the green light there with the runner on second over the top of it.
Runner on second. 1 out here in the top of the first. Both teams coming off of wins yesterday. McDermott keeping his eye on second, and the 3-1 pitch comes in there for a strike, so it's a 3-2 count. All full here.
Nice job from McDermott there. Throws the same pitch twice, it looked like, to get back to a full count starting off 3-0.
McDermott taking his time on the mound, getting set, once again swiveling his head towards second. That will be a strike in there, caught him looking. A low pitch there from McDermott hits the mark, and that's strikeout number 2 and out number 2 for the Whitecaps.
Nicely done there from McDermott. Got a bit of a favorable call from our home plate up, Mike Piondadosi behind the dish, but was able to get it to catch the corner.
Luke Bonfield now up for the Gatemen. He also homered yesterday, 4 of 5 yesterday at the plate, a 3-run homer to his name. First pitch from McDermott is a ball, 1-0 count. Again, runner on second here in the top of the first inning. No score. Bonfield from Skillman, New Jersey. Started every game for Arkansas. He's a rising senior. Second pitch in there for a strike, a 1-1 count to Luke Bonfield. Bonfield selected in the 21st round in 2014 by the New York Mets. He went to IMG Academy in Florida, a long way from New Jersey. He whiffs at the next pitch, and so that's a 1-2 count to Bonfield.
So many great graduates of IMG Academy in the athletic fields, one of the best high schools in the country in terms of athletics. As kids, like you were saying, coming from far and wide for a lot of different sports, football, baseball, basketball especially. There's a lot of folks, especially folks from New Jersey. Trevon Duvall is going to be going to Duke, one of a top 5 recruit. He is originally from the Garden State and went down to IMG Academy and now got a commitment to play for Mike Krzyzewski at the Blue Devils.
Mickey Gasper runs out just quickly to check on J.R. McDermott. He's back behind the plate now. And the next pitch is a strikeout. 3 strikeouts to start the game for J.R. McDermott. Wareham leaves one on second. No score here in the after the top of the first. You're listening to Whitecaps baseball. So scoreless after the top of the first. The Gatemen leave one at second, and J.R. McDermott strikes out 3 to start the inning for the Whitecaps. Now they're up to bat. A.J. Graffinino leading off for Brewster. He's batting .412 so far in his Cape career. He played for the Whitecaps last year, though. Batted .278 in a Brewster uniform in 2016. Was a switch hitter, now he just bats left. First pitch from Justin Hagerman. In for a strike, 0-1 count. Graffinino, a rising junior, 6'3", 170. Hits a slow roller over to the second baseman, who kind of bobbles it a little, and Graffinino able to just breeze right in there for a single. That will be an error for Graf on the Gatemen.
Yeah, it looks like Duran was just thinking about throwing before thinking about fielding the baseball. That's something that's kind of familiar for Whitecaps fans. A few errors in the infield for Brewster so far this season, as Duran just couldn't come up with that baseball cleanly. And now the speedy Graffinino's already got a couple stolen bases in his pocket this year. Is on first base.
Kyle Daughtris in the batting box for the Whitecaps. First pitch from Hagenman is a strike, 0-1 count. Daughtris, also a rising junior, a Tar Heel out of UNC. Hagenman checks up at Graffinino.
That was awfully close to him diving back.
Daughtris playing third base for the Whitecaps today, batting .200 so far in the Cape. Hagenman with the pitch. They check up on Graffinino, and they'll call him out. The dive back to first was not in time, so that's 1 out for the Gatemen in this first inning. A nice pickoff there from the catcher for Wareham.
Terrific play by McIver. He's been playing a lot of infield and third base this year for the Gatemen and this past spring for the Washington Huskies, but he looks right at home there with that snap throw over to first.
A hit there from Daughtris right up the seam on the left side, so he'll get in there for a single.
Dunkin' Donuts and the Cape Cod Baseball League want to keep players and fans running both on and off the field all season long. Celebrate the summer of coffee at your local Dunkin' Donuts with their latest flavor lineup, including butter pecan, coconut cream pie, and s'mores.
The number 3 hitter in for the Whitecaps Mickey Gasper, he sat out yesterday, jammed his thumb against YD, but he's back in the lineup. Coach Shevchik says he's good to go, not feeling 100%, but as Aiden let us know earlier, Shevchik describes him as a gamer. First pitch to Gasper, a strike, an 0-1 count, runner on first, one out here in the bottom of the first inning. Gasper was batting .412 before yesterday, 17 at-bats, 7 RBIs. Second pitch in there, no swing from Gasper, and that's an 0-2 count.
Looks like we're seeing a little bit of run on that fastball from Hageman early. It's sitting high 80s right now.
Hageman looking for redemption after a rough start to his Cape career. One inning pitched. They'll check up on Daughtris again. He'll get back in time. Not looking to make the same mistake as Graffinino there.
Yeah, you don't want to be the second guy who's called out at first base, do you?
Third pitch in there for a ball. Misses way off on the left side. 1-2 count to Mickey Gasper.
And that missed, but that was still a decent pitch because it was diving away from the lefty hitter Gasper, though. He's shown tremendous plate discipline so far this year, able to lay that one off.
The release in there, low in the dirt from Hageman. It's a 2-2 even count here. Runner at first, one out. Gasper, NEC Player of the Year, rising senior, and he is a true switch hitter. He'll hit one right into left field. They will bloop in and move Daughtris to third, and Gasper will get to second. So runners on second and third. Two runners in scoring position for the Whitecaps.
Boy, Mickey Gasper just cannot be slowed down this season. Comes back from missing a day with that injury and with a great piece of hitting down the left field line, rolling all the way into the corner there. And now a chance for the Whitecaps to capitalize, starting with the cleanup hitter, Dunn.
Our second baseman from Terrapin to Maryland, here is Nick Dunn.
Second baseman Nick Dunn now in the batter's box for the Whitecaps. Two runners in scoring position. No score here at Stony Brook Field. We're in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch to Dunn. It's in there for a strike, 0-1. That's a fastball. Dunn was a Cape League All-Star last year. He played for the Whitecaps. Plays for the Maryland Terrapins in college. Second pitch, a fastball way out to fouled out on the left side by Dunn. Third pitch to Dunn on its way. A fastball low and out. That's a ball. 1-2 count.
Still a terrific pick. It looked like he hit the target there for MacGyver. That one just missed off the outside corner. A nice pitch at 0-2 to try and get him to chase or hit a soft ground ball to the left side, which is just what they need with second and third here.
Justin Hageman releases another foul off a fastball off the left side. It's a 1-2 count to Nick Dunn. His team, along with Marty Costas, who's also on the Whitecaps, lost in the Wake Forest Regional this year. He batted .261 for the Terrapins, 5 homers, 32 RBIs. 1-2 pitch. It's fouled off again off a fastball. Popped up behind the plate. Runners at second and third for the Whitecaps. One out here in the bottom of the first. Off a pickoff play from MacGyver, who got Graffinino off, who was just a little too far from first base. Pitch to Dunn, a fastball, blooped for a foul. Still a 1-2 count. Nick Dunn really making Hageman work here.
It's a good job. We've seen good patience at the plate from a lot of the Whitecap hitters. That's something that Nick Dunn's been able to do from day one, and I'm sure it's not a coincidence that he's one of the returners on this Whitecap roster.
One-two pitch on its way to Dunn. He'll hit one off the right side, and it will just hit off the foot of Jaron Duran, of Blake Sable. And a runner in, Kyle Daughtris comes in, so we have a 1-zip game here at Stony Brook Field.
And we'll see how they score that. I would put that in the book as an E3, as that one went right off the glove of Sable. But it appears they disagree with me because they're putting a hit on the board for Brewster, so that's going to be an infield hit, an RBI single for Dunn.
Michael Curry, designated hitter, in for the Whitecaps. He had a huge RBI single yesterday to tie the game up, as the Whitecaps ended up with a 7-4 victory against Falmouth. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch on its way. That will get in there for ball number 2.
Missed that one in the dirt there. Yeah, Curry, it's been interesting to watch Jamie Shevchik kind of play around with his lineup. He's got an offensive catcher in Curry, who has trouble, is not the best defensive catcher on the squad. Then you got Justin Coons out of Gardner-Webb, who's not in the game so far today, who's a terrific defensive catcher, but maybe isn't the best hitter. And then you got Gasper, who can catch and play first. Schuler, who's out of a lineup today. A lot of different options.
2-0 pitch on its way. A breaking ball in for ball number 3. It's a 3-0 count. Runners at first and third for the Whitecaps, and they're up 1-zip with 1 out.
That run that scored earlier, it was earned. I know we saw that error to allow Graffinino to get on, but he was canceled out real quick.
3-0 pitch on its way. A swing up to the left side. And a runner will score. Mickey Gasper comes in, so it's a 2-0 game, but they will get the runner out going to second. Nick Dunn called out there. So a runner at first, 2 outs here, and it's a 2-0 Whitecaps lead.
Very nearly got a double play. It was closer than I thought it was going to be. It was a slow ground ball toward the left side. Metz moving to his left from the third base position, able to get the one, and then the throw down to first base skipped in front of the first baseman. Sable wasn't able to make a clean play on it. Probably wouldn't have been able to nab Curry anyway, but it made it a lot closer than I think it should have been there. We're starting with a nice play from Metz.
Chandler Taylor now in the batter's box for the Whitecaps. The hero of yesterday's game, he gets to start at first base today. First pitch in for a fastball there from Hagenman. Taylor, 2 homers yesterday, both very deep. One a solo shot, one a 3-run homer to lift the Whitecaps. Strike number 1 is in for a fastball. It's a 1-1 count.
When he can locate that pitch, it's awfully tough to hit.
Chandler Taylor plays for Alabama. He's from Alabama himself. This year was all SEC second team. Hagenman checks up the runner on first. Michael Curry inching out a little bit there, first base. 1-1 pitch in there for strike number 2. Taylor, a rising junior, ranked 3rd in the SEC in home runs with 16 on the year. We saw a little bit of that yesterday. 1-2 pitch in there, another fastball from Hagenman. And it's a 2-2 count. That one called for a ball. Two pitch on its way. Hit right on the right field line, a ground ball, and that will get past the infield. And Chandler Taylor in for a single. And Michael Curry moves to second.
This is good sign for the Whitecaps to see hard-hit baseballs early in this game. Both of their last two games, both yesterday and against YD a couple of days ago, they had trouble putting good wood on the ball until the latter innings of the game. Now we've already seen that was the fourth hit, and 3 of them were hit hard for Brewster.
So now again a runner in scoring position for the Whitecaps. Michael Curry at second, Chandler Taylor at first. Marty Costas up to bat for the Whitecaps. He's 1 for 7 in his Whitecaps career, but has a homer in his 1 hit. First pitch into him for a strike. 0-1 count. Costas roommates with Nick Dunn at Maryland. Great friends, and now they're here on the Cape together, and Costas says he is so excited to have his friend here with him. Fastball in for a ball, so it's a 1-1 count, even count here. Costas playing right field today. He's played center a couple times for the Whitecaps, but they'll move him to right in order for Hunter Bishop to play center. Whitecaps on top 2-zip. Breaking ball fouled off by Costas, and it's a 1-2 count.
Well, that's the kind of thing I remember the third member of our crew, Aiden Doyle, was marveling at Costas' bat speed when the team was warming up before this game. It's one of those pitches where that bat speed helps. Don't think he was expecting an off-speed pitch there, but able to try and hang back. Not quite able to get it into fair territory, but that quick reaction to put some good wood on it and send it foul.
Hagenman swiveling his head, checking on second. 1-2 pitch in there for a fastball. That's strike number 3. Caught him looking there. So that's a strikeout for Marty Costas. The Whitecaps get 2 in. They have a 2-zip lead after the first inning here at Stony Brook Field. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. We're back here, score 2-0. The Whitecaps on top of the Gatemen here. In the start of the second inning, John Topa to lead off for the Gatemen. He's from Middleton, Rhode Island. Plays for UConn. First pitch from McDermott is low and out. Ball number 1. We haven't seen a lot of first pitches be strikes here for McDermott, but he has struck out 3 so far in this game. Second pitch fouled off towards the right side.
Yeah, specifically, he's 2 out of 5 in throwing strike 1 today is McDermott. We'll be keeping an eye on that.
1-1 pitch from McDermott. In there for a strike, a breaking ball. Hit nicely there. Topa not someone you really want to get on base. He did steal 10 times this year for UConn. Only caught once stealing. Third pitch in there for a strike. Caught him looking, and once again another strikeout for J.R. McDermott. That's 4 so far. We're only in the second inning.
Able to paint the corner with that one. So far, he's looking poised.
Jake Anchia up now for the Gatemen. He plays for Nova Southeastern. That's a Division II school. On the mound, J.R. McDermott. He also plays at Division II school. Just prove it doesn't matter. They'll find you. First pitch in there. 0-1. That's a strike to Anchia.
Fooled him with a breaking ball there. Swung and missed.
Shows bunt, and it will pop up, and Mickey Gasper will get it for out number 2. Just popped right up into Mickey Gasper's glove.
Nice quick reaction there. That was about at eye level for Gasper. One of the easier plays you'll see. Catcher Mate just stands right up and is able to put the baseball away. So 2 gone.
Robert Metz up now for the Gatemen. Batting 7th in this lineup. The third baseman today for the Gatemen. Release from McDermott is fouled out on the first pitch. It's an 0-1 count. Fouled that one right behind him on the right side. And that's from Maryland. Plays for George Washington, one of 2 from GW on this Gatemen roster. A high ball there from McDermott. It's a 1-1 count.
Yeah, look out. That one ran up some gym music. Maybe we'll see something away now.
McDermott, another foul there on the third pitch from Metz. So it's a 1-2 count.
And they were looking for something away. Gasper was setting up, down, and away. That breaking ball stayed up, though. And again, another maybe fortunate foul ball off the bat of a Gateman player.
McDermott with the pitch in for a strike, and that's another strikeout. And that ends the second inning. He retires the side. Does J.R. McDermott. He has 5 strikeouts already today. The Whitecaps up 2-0 after 1.5 here. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. The Whitecaps up 2-0, and now they're up to bat on the Gatemen. Justin Hagenman still in for the Gatemen. Cesar Trejo batting 8th in the lineup. He'll come up to lead off this inning for the Whitecaps. Trejo, kind of the hero the other day against YD. Didn't play yesterday, but had 3 RBIs to tie the game up, and Brewster and YD ended up in a tie, 7-7. Trejo, the real hero of that game. First pitch to him, an 0-1 count. He'll foul it off towards the left side. Just a little blooper over there.
That was big for him because he had struggled to see pitches well leading up to that. Got his first hit of the year in his previous AB and been able to clear the bases with a double that, as you said, leads to that 7-7 tie.
0-1 pitch is in for a high strike. 1-1 count. Trejo plays for UNC Greensboro, a temporary player here in the Cape, one of few to still be here. 1-1 count. Trejo hit high, and shortstop Topa Baird able to just jump up and grab that one. Won't drop there for Trejo, so that's 1 out for the Gatemen.
That was a nice play from Baird. Some reflexes. Had to jump up a bit to pull that one down. They're able to grab it. That was a rocket.
So nobody on for Hunter Bishop. Played his first game in a Whitecap uniform yesterday. Struck out 3 times. A rough first start. He's batting 9th in the lineup today. First pitch in there from Hagenman, a strike number 1. 0-1 count, nobody on. 1 out. in the bottom of the second inning. Bishop hits one right to the second baseman, and he'll be thrown out at first, not able to get there in time. He'll ground out. So he's yet to have a hit so far. He did walk yesterday.
Yeah, and that at-bat, he takes a strike that he looked like he wasn't too happy with the call, exchanged a couple of words with our home plate ump, Mike Biondadosi, and then swung at a pitch to hit a hard ground ball to second base. Patience is one thing I think that is important to look for Bishop toward the rest of this game and the season as a whole. We'll see how it plays out.
A.J. Graffinino up for the Whitecaps. First pitch to him is a low ball. Just misses the mark there. 1-0 count. 2 outs here for the Whitecaps. They lead 2-0 over the Gatemen. 1-0 pitch. Fouled right in the netting behind towards the left side. It's a 1-1 even count here for A.J. Graffinino. He did get on base in his first attempt. That was off an error. And then he was picked off. He just led a little too much at first. Picked up by Willie McIver there. Something to watch for McIver. He's a very, very good catcher. Has a lot of pickoffs in his career. A.J. Graffinino fouls that one out, so it's a 1-2 count. Pitch from Hagenman. Fouled again. Still a 1-2 count. We've seen 3 foul balls here from A.J. Graffinino. Graffinino was drafted in the 26th round by Cleveland. Has a history of MLB in his family. His dad, Tony, played for multiple MLB teams. He was a second baseman in the big leagues. 1-2 pitch on its way. In for a low ball, so it's a 2-2 even count.
Nice job to lay that one off from Graffinino. One of those that you might swing at and be fooled by and kick yourself after down and into the lefty hitter. But able to check it ever so slightly and lay it off.
Even count for Graffinino. Pitch on its way. Graffinino hits one high to right field, and it will drop in for at least a single. He'll round first all the way to second. In for a double. A.J. Graffinino with 2 outs for the Whitecaps gets into second.
Hagenman left that one right over the plate for Graffinino and did what every good hitter should do, put some good wood on it and send it out to the right center field gap, and now a speedy runner in scoring position as Brewster looks to extend this 2-0 lead.
Kyle Daughtris now up in the batting box for the Whitecaps. He came all the way to home in his first at-bat, got a single, was knocked in by Nick Dunn. So a runner in scoring position for the Whitecaps, A.J. Graffinino at second. First pitch in for a low ball. Graffinino inching out ever so cautiously, keeping an eye on Willie McIver, who did get him out earlier today. 1-0 count to Kyle Daughtris. Hails from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. 1-0 count. That pitch in for a low ball again. Daughtris leads with a 2-0 count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. The Whitecaps up 2-0. The runner in scoring position. That's strike number 1 there. Right in the corner there for...
Yeah, we've seen Hagenman hit that corner a couple of times down and away to the righty hitter, and he's been getting that call. We'll see how much he goes into that well as the game continues.
Hagenman checking up on Graffinino. Daughtris hits one high, and it is caught by the second baseman, Duran. He had to run back pretty far from that, but that's out number 3. Graffinino stranded at second. And the Whitecaps don't score in the second inning. It's still 2-0. Whitecaps on top of the Gatemen. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Tanner Dotson come up for the Gatemen here. Wareham down 2 runs to the Whitecaps. It's a 2-0 lead by Brewster. Dotson, that's 8th in the lineup. There's number 28 for the Gatemen. First pitch to him, fouled off behind him towards left.
Interesting to see a first pitch slider, it looked like there from McDermott at 87.
Dotson, sometimes a pitcher. He did pitch 52 innings for UCal Berkeley this year. But today, he'll play center field for the Gatemen. 1-1 count. 1-1 pitch on its way. That's in for a strike. It's a 1-2 count. Dotson, a California native. Another one on this Gatemen team. When he was playing in the infield, he batted .297 for UCal. It's a 2-2 count here. J.R. McDermott on the mound for the Whitecaps still. Has yet to let up a run in a Whitecaps uniform. 5th pitch in there for a ball. 3-2 full count here to Tanner Dotson. Three-two pitch. That one is low, won't quite hit, so that's a walk there for Tanner Dotson. And the Gatemen have a base runner to start out this 3rd inning.
Warrior number 3 from the University of Washington, shortstop, Ben Baird.
Batting 9th in the lineup, Ben Baird. He's a shortstop. Had that great catch earlier in the game where he's kind of diving back. From Agora Hills, California, another Cali guy, plays for Washington. Again, as we mentioned, we'll see 4 on these rosters combined from the Huskies team. Fastball just misses the mark there. It's a 1-0 count to Baird. Runner on first for the Gatemen. McDermott getting set. Releases and a strike. Gasper tried to, a little rundown here going on. Dotson is finally got out. The ball was loose. We'll see what they call. Looks like he was safe because the ball popped out of Taylor's hand. So he will stay on second.
I think they're calling an interference play here.
Interference play. It's
kind of a strange call to see. Say every time you come to the ballpark, you see something you don't see before.
So they will send him back to first. He didn't gain a base. So the
They're
batter
trying to figure it out here.
Yes, it seems like they're trying to figure things out. But he is standing at first right now. The umps are talking. Coaches are talking. A little bit of confusion here at Stony Brook Field. He's still at first, but it seemed like they did call him out for an interference play with Gasper.
Yeah, our ump over at second signaled that he was safe, and then our home plate ump was chatting with Gasper behind the plate and said, yeah, I think that there's a play. That means he's going to be out. And we have Dan Shitten coming out and having a chat with Mark Piantadosi behind the dish, and a bit of a delay here. Kind of a strange play.
So it looks like they will call Baird out. Still a runner on first. Seems like the word we're getting, but still a conversation going on here as to what exactly happened, but the ump just explaining it to all the coaches. So 1 out here after kind of a crazy play. Baird out for interfering with Gasper. So now leadoff hitter Jaron Duran up to bat once again for the Gatemen. He struck out earlier today, 1 of 5 that J.R. McDermott has gotten today. First pitch is a high ball. Fastball just missed the mark, way high. So it's a 1-0 count to Jaron Duran. He'll check up on Dotson at first.
Been an eventful day in terms of throws from the catcher, right? We saw MacGyver with a successful snap throw earlier today, and now this interference play. Seen a lot of strange calls in the first few games of the Whitecaps season, it feels like, and there's another.
1-0 pitch. A high fastball again from J.R. McDermott. McDermott yet to give up a run in a Whitecaps uniform. Pitched 5 scoreless innings against Hyannis a couple days ago. Now we're in the 3rd inning, hasn't given up a run yet. Fastball fouled off straight behind him for Jaron Duran. 2-1 count.
Infield playing at double play depth here with a runner on first and one gone.
McDermott getting set. Pitches, and that's another fastball, and that'll be fouled off by Duran.
Runner was going on that play. From second was Dotson. Dotson has a couple of stolen bases in 2 tries this season.
It's Duran, who's at the batter's box, who's really known for stealing bases. He has 19. He had 19 this year for Long Beach State. 2-2 pitch on its way. A swing and a miss from Jaron Duran on a fastball. So that's strikeout number 6 from J.R. McDermott. 2 outs.
We talk about how he doesn't maybe have as much blow-away stuff, but it looks like he's been getting the Ks to prove us wrong so far in this game, as McDermott. Really admire the way he's loose on the mound and poised in those spots. For a D2 guy coming in and facing some of the best hitters in the country, it's remarkable to see.
Blake Sable chose bunt in the first pitch, and it will just foul off. It's an 0-1 count. Runner on first for the Gatemen, 2 outs. Top of the 3rd inning. Whitecaps on top of the Gatemen, 2-0. Oh, 1 pitch. In for a strike, so it's a 1-1. In for a ball, so it's a 1-1 count. One pitch popped up. Couple players calling for it, but it's Chandler Taylor, the first baseman, who makes the 3rd out of the 1st inning. The Whitecaps are still up 2-0 on the Gatemen. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. The Whitecaps on top of the Gatemen 2-0. Mickey Gasper leading off for Brewster here. Gasper, he got a double in his first at-bat today. Missed yesterday's game, but otherwise has been an explosive offensive player for this Whitecaps team. True switch hitter, but batting left today. First pitch from Hagenman. Fastball in for a strike. No swing from Mickey Gasper. Oh, 1 pitch on its way. Low fastball in for ball number 1. It's a 1-1 count. One pitch, hit high to left field, and it is caught. So Mickey Gasper pops up in his second at-bat today for out number 1 for the Whitecaps.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clam bake, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
John Topa made out number 1 for the Gatemen. Left fielder, number 14 for Wareham. Now up Nick Dunn. He has an RBI today. Fouls the first one. Fastball right into the netting behind him. 0-1 count to Nick Dunn, playing second base today for the Whitecaps. 0-1 pitch in there for ball number 1, another fastball from Justin Hagenman. One pitch on its way, and it's fouled off. Another fastball, 3 in a row there from Hagenman. It's a 1-2 count to Nick Dunn.
He's been showing some good command so far in this game as Hagenman. Whitecaps spoiling pitches as they tend to do, but getting those strike 1 on the corner, very important for him.
Another fastball, 2-2 count there for Nick Dunn. That's in for a ball. Fouled right in our faces. Good thing there's some netting there. That was a breaking ball, 3-2 count. Nick Dunn pops one up to center field. And that one is in for an out number 2 for the Whitecaps.
Looks like it's Peyton Culbertson, the 6'1", 205 pitcher out of Arkansas State, who's towing the rubber right now for Wareham. Bit of an early pull from Don Shedden, but a few different arms that he wants to work out in this game.
So Hagenman played just 2 innings for the Gatemen. Michael Curry, designated hitter, up for the Whitecaps. 2 outs, no runners on for Brewster. Culbertson's first pitch is a ball. A fastball popped up again right to center field. Tanner Dotson gets it for out number 3, and the Whitecaps do not score in the 3rd inning. So it's still a 2-zip game here at Stony Brook Field. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball.
Back at Stony Brook Field, where the Whitecaps are clinging to a 2-0 lead as we prepare to begin the fourth inning. Let's send it over to the third member of our crew, Aiden Doyle. Aiden?
Thanks, Carter. I had the opportunity to talk with Jim McDermott, Whitecaps starting pitcher J.R. McDermott's grandfather, who's in attendance here at Stony Brook Field today to watch his grandson get his second career Cape League start. He's loving it here on the Cape. He's originally from Connecticut, so he's been here before. But when I asked him what was better, watching J.R. in the Division II College World Series or watching him pitch here on the Cape, he had no doubt about it watching him here at Stony Brook Field in Brewster.
That's great to see. Leading things off will be the three-hitter MacGyver. He hits this one high in the air toward foul ground and getting foul to start off the top of the fourth for the Wareham Gatemen. As you said, it's 2-0 Wareham, or 2-0 Brewster, excuse me, against the Wareham Gatemen as we're starting the top of the fourth. It'll be MacGyver, Bonfield, and Topa due up for Wareham to start this inning. The 0-1. Breaking ball dropped in for strike number 2. McDermott, as you mentioned at the top of the show, has a lot of different pitches that he'll mix with. Willie MacGyver struck out looking his first time up. Does have a nice play behind the plate. 0-2 the count, the pitch on the way. Another breaking ball in there for a called strike 3. So Willie MacGyver goes down on strikes for the second time in this game. Both times he was looking. And that's the 7th strikeout for McDermott. The line on Hagenman, who was replaced, 2 innings pitched, 5 hits, gave up 2 runs. They were both earned, no walks and 1 strikeout. And now it's time for the cleanup hitter, Bonfield, out of the Arkansas Razorbacks. A rising senior. The pitch is taken outside to make the count 1-0 on Bonfield. Bonfield, he swung and missed at a curveball for strike 3 his first time up. Just the 1 hit allowed for McDermott so far here in the top of the fourth. 1-0. Swung and fouled back to the screen to make the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Bonfield this past season had a great year for Arkansas. Hit .294 with a .366 on-base percentage. 1-1 to the righty is fouled away toward the right side, and the count is 1-2. Coming into this game, 4 for 17, so now 4 for 18 with that strikeout in the first. Had that big 3-run home run in that 10-2 victory yesterday for the Gatemen. Here comes the 1-2. Swan hit well out to the right side, heading toward foul ground in right field, and it will head over the Wareham bullpen, and giving up chase is Costas out there and right. Lost a hat there, did Marty Costas on the run. There is some action, by the way, if we're talking about the bullpen for Wareham, as Grant Wolfram is warming. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from McDermott. Grounded foul left side, and we'll do it again with the count 1-2. 2-0 our score. Brewster ahead in the top of the fourth. The 2 Brewster runs scored on an infield single from Dunn, and then on a fielder's choice off the bat of Curry, his second run driven in as many games. Count 1-2 on the right fielder, Luke Bonfield. Righty to righty, the pitch. Taken just a bit low, and the count is even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just missed, and the judgment of our umpire, Mike Piandadosi, behind home plate. Right at the knees, that one. 2-2 the count. And here's the pitch from McDermott. That one's just a bit outside in the judgment of the ump. Another one that was close. But the count now runs full. A couple of good takes there from Bonfield. 3-2 the count with 1 out. Here in the top of the fourth inning. Here comes the payoff. Swan and grounded softly foul left side, trickling toward the Brewster dugout on the third base side. And we'll do it again with the count 3-2. Bonfield, a 21st round draft pick by the New York Mets in 2014. This is his 3rd year on the Cape. Was with YD in 2015 and had a cup of coffee here with these Gatemen last year. The pitch just a bit outside for ball 4. The fans in the ballpark not a big fan of that call. A couple of pitches that were borderline in that at-bat, and they all go in favor of the hitter Bonfield. So Bonfield reaches for the first time with a walk. That is the first walk, or the second walk, excuse me, surrendered by McDermott so far in this game, and now it's John Topa's turn. Topa, a right-handed hitter, with Bonfield on first base and 1 man out. The pitch. Swan and fouled away. That one over the Wareham dugout on the first base side. A couple coaches ducking their heads. As that one whapped off of the protective netting and out over onto the hill, where, as always here on McCabe, the sight to behold every time there's a foul ball over toward the seating area, all the kids scampering over to try and claim their prize. You see a lot of that here at Stony Brook Field. Of course, we got the playground right behind our press box behind home plate. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Grounded through the middle, and it's going to get into center field for a base hit. Running over and making a wide turn at second base, but holding up is Bonfield. So a couple of runners on now for Wareham after a hard hit single from Topa. 2 on and 1 out.
Well, I believe that's only the second hit that McDermott has allowed today. He allowed a double to Blake Sable, and then that John Topa hit. But other than that, he's been untouchable. Now 2 runners on for him. Not a situation he's been in today.
So here is the DH, Jake Anchia, hitting from the right side. His first time up, he tried to lay down a bunt, but it was popped straight up and handled by the catcher Gasper. 2 on and 1 out. 2-0 Brewster, top 4. The pitch is down and away to begin his at-bat. And the count is 1-0 on Anchia. Anchia with that pop fly is now 4 for 19 since he arrived on McCabe. 1 homer and 4 runs driven in. Does have 4 walks, which is second on the team for Wareham. Checking the runner at second is McDermott and deals 1-0. It's hit high in the air again, foul behind the plate. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Anchia also went yard in that 10-2 victory over Hyannis on the road yesterday for Wareham. Really a relief for their coach, Jan Shedd, and he was very happy to see that the bats come alive for a team that had struggled to hit early on in the season. 1-1 the count to the righty. Holding the set and dealing is McDermott. It's fouled away behind the plate again. Pretty much the same spot. A bit of a wince as Anchia turns around to get back into the batter's box. 1-2 now the count. Anchia listed as a catcher on the roster, but has been spending most of his time at DH. 1-2 the count now on the business major. Holding the set is McDermott. And here's the pitch. It's hit high in the air. That was a breaking ball that he left up over toward the left side. Calling everybody off is the shortstop Graffinino, and he makes the catch over toward the left field line out in shallow left to retire Anchia. Bit of an interesting play there. A tough call for Graffinino, but he's able to take charge, and there are 2 away.
Yeah, Kyle Daughters was going for that and then kind of changed direction, let Graffinino get it completely alone, didn't want to interfere with that at all. A heads-up play by Kyle Daughters to just kind of get out of the way on that one.
And now it's up to Robbie Metz. Still first and second with 2 outs. It's 2-0 Brewster in the top of inning number 4. Holding the set is McDermott. And here's the pitch to Metz. It's outside. And the count is 1-0. Looked like some hard stuff there from McDermott. Metz hailing from George Washington University, one of those guys that can play wherever you need on the diamond. Today, he's the third baseman for the Gatemen. 1-0 the count. And here's the pitch. Swann hit it hard. It's going to get down and into center field for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Bonfield. He will make it there safely with the first run of the game for Wareham. It's an RBI single for Robbie Metz, and the Brewster lead is cut in half. It's now 2-1 Whitecaps.
Well, that one was roped. It almost hit the umpire there. He had to jump out of the way. A nice hit there to make this a 1-run game.
The rising senior out of Podesville, Maryland, able to lace that one. You're right. Our umpire, Rick Del Vecchio, had to hit the deck. That was lined right. He's standing a couple of paces to the right of the second base bag, and it was right over his head. So now it's Tanner Dodson's turn. The center fielder batting from the left side. Here's the pitch. It's low to begin his at-bat. The count is 1-0 on Tanner. Tanner led off the third inning. His first time worked a walk. Wound up heading for second base, but then an interference call neutralized everything. Probably would have been hung out to dry were it not for the call. Here comes the 1-0. And it's taken outside and low. McDermott missing there, and it's 2-0 now the count on Dodson. First and second, 2 out. Brewster trying to stay up 2-1. We saw a back and forth game here last night, maybe in for another one today. Here comes the 2-0. It's taken in there for a strike that was up at the letters. And the count is 2-1 now on Dodson. McDermott, as we mentioned, out of Colorado Mesa University. That's in Grand Junction, Colorado. Really has turned into one of the best pitchers there in the history of that school. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from the righty. It's low, bouncing in the dirt in front of the catcher. Gasper lost it for a moment, but no advance. Able to recover quickly. Gasper pounds his fist into the mid as he regains his footing there. Count is 3-1 on Dodson, making his 6th start of the Cape League season in Wareham's 9th game of the year. Wareham at 3-5, Brewster at 3-2-1. That tie coming a couple days ago against Yarmouth Dennis. Waiting on the 3-1 now for McDermott. Here it comes. It's up high for ball 4. That one looks like it just slipped out of his hand a bit. Up and away. Gasper will call time to talk to him. The bases are now loaded with 2 men out here in the top of inning number 4.
Well, again, this is not a position that McDermott is used to being in so far in the Cape. That was the first run he's allowed in a Whitecaps uniform this year. Now bases loaded. Should be interesting to see how this pitcher handles this situation.
Bases are loaded for the 9-hitter, Ben Baird, who was called out on that strange little interference call his first time. That was in the 3rd inning. Baird, a Washington Husky, rising sophomore from Agora Hills, California. Here's the pitch, righty to righty. It's a breaking ball in there for a strike on the outside corner to the right-handed hitter, and the count is 0-1 on Baird. Baird just 9 starts in 43 games for the Huskies this past season. He's there primarily for his defense. 2 for 18 coming into this game, now 2 for 19 in this Cape League season so far. 0-1 pitch is bounced in front of the catcher Gasper to even the count at 1-1 strike. Big spot here for McDermott. Brewster's ahead 2-1. With the bases loaded and 2 outs, the count even 1-1 strike on Baird. Another draft pick in this contest, 20th round by Cleveland. Here comes the 1-1. Check swing, and he takes it low. Oh, no, it's called for a strike. Or saw the signal for a strike from Pianadosi behind the plate. It's up on the board as a ball 2-1. That looked low from our vantage point here behind the plate. They check to see if he swung. So the count is 2-1. Bases loaded, 2 men out. Righty to righty, here comes the pitch. Swan and fouled straight back to the screen. And that evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 1 run into this inning on an RBI single from Robbie Metz. Wareham looking to counter and even this game. Been a good one so far. Brewster got 2 runs in the first inning to set the tone. And now lead 2-1. Holding the set now is McDermott, and the pitch. Swan and grounded hard to shortstop, fielded there by Graffinino, who'll throw across to first base in time, and that retires the side. Brewster gets out of that inning, only surrendering just the 1 run. So it is 1 run in the top of the 4th for the Wareham Gatemen on a couple of hits, and may leave the bases loaded. We are through 3.5 innings of play. Brewster still ahead 2-1. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. It's back. The 2017 Friendlies Cape League All-Star Game will be played at Spillane Field, home of these Wareham Gatemen that are in the building tonight. You got to mark the date on your calendar now. It's Saturday, July 22nd. The game starts at 6 o'clock, but the gates will open at 2 p.m. One highlight is the home run hitting contest. There's also going to be an autograph session after the game and a large merchandise village with items from many of the teams. Be sure to buy your tickets now. You can buy them at the merchandise stand at any of the ballparks here on the Cape, including here at Stony Brook Field. Tickets are just $5, and part of those proceeds from those tickets will go towards the Whitecaps. The first pitch is taken for a strike from Chandler Taylor, who is leading off the bottom of the fourth inning for Brewster. Whitecaps are ahead 2-1. Wareham cut into the Brewster lead with an RBI single from Robbie Metz, but left the bases loaded. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, taken for strike 2 on the outside corner. Culbertson is still on the mound for Wareham, came on in relief and worked a 1-2-3 third inning in relief of Hagenman. The righty out of Arkansas State. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. A 3-pitch strikeout to start off the bottom of the fourth as Chandler Taylor goes down swing on a breaking ball. And there's quickly one away here in the bottom of inning number 4. So one strikeout in the book for Culbertson. And now here comes Marty Costas. Costas struck out swinging on a fastball in the first inning in his first at-bat. So far on the season, he's 1 for 8, and that one was a big one. It was a home run on Sunday in Katuitt in the second game of that twin bill. The first pitch is taken low. That one skipped off the dirt in front of the catcher, McIver. And the count is 1-0 early on Marty Costas. Quickly dealing here is Culbertson. Swing and a miss there from Costas. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. A bit of a shake of the head there from Marty as he gets ready to dig back in. 1-1 the count. On the rising junior from Baltimore, Maryland, out of Archbishop Curley High School. Here comes the 1-1. It's down and in. That one looked like it almost got a piece of Costas down at his kneecap area. But it was snagged by McIver. Did not hit him. 2-1 the count. And here comes the pitch from Culbertson. It's down and in, 3-1. So Costas had that one pitch that he swung and missed, and the other 3 that he's laid off weren't particularly close to the zone. 3-1 the count to Costas. Culbertson working quickly. Here comes the pitch. Swan hit well out to right center field. On the run is Bonfield moving to his right. He's underwritten. He makes the catch. That was a hard hit baseball out there to right field, but Bonfield didn't need to move too much. Just a couple of steps to his right out toward right center. And so Costas is retired, and quickly there are 2 gone.
Yeah, it's been a tough start to the season for Marty Costas, but when I was talking to Coach Jamie Shevchuk, he said he's one of those guys that it doesn't faze him. He just kind of keeps getting out there. He's always going to be an aggressive guy, always going to be swinging his bat. So Coach Jamie Shevchuk not worried about the rough start to Costas this season.
That's a good thing to hear. You need a sort of quality like that when you're on the Cape in a season like this. Here's Cesar Trejo. He shows bunt and takes a pitch way up high, does the righty. Trejo on the day is 0 for 1, hit a hard line drive right to the shortstop Baird for his first out. Count is 1-0 now on Cesar. Here comes the pitch. Another pitch up high. That one toward the outer half of the plate on the fastball from Culbertson. 2-0 the count. Culbertson has a nice, easy delivery from what we can see here when he starts out, and it really sort of jumps out of his hand. Got a great view of it behind home plate. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Looked like he took something off of that one, and Trejo was out in front of it. 2-1 is the count on the Whitecap left fielder today. Roosters outfield getting shuffled up a bit as Costas is out in right. We saw him in left field earlier this season. Trejo in left today. 2-1. Taken for strike number 2 at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Brewster ahead 2-1. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Cesar Trejo, the rising junior out of Greensboro, North Carolina, waits on the 2-2, and he fouls it off toward the right side. So we'll do things again. Culbertson out of Arkansas State. They're in the Sun Belt Conference, one of those group of 5 conferences that will field an FBS football team. They faced a few SEC foes, I think, earlier in the this past season. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from the righty. Breaking ball in there for a called strike 3. Culbertson decided to mess with Trejo a little bit, threw the breaking ball there in a 2-2 count and dropped it right in there for a called third strike. So 2 strikeouts in the inning, and Culbertson, since coming on in the third, has been perfect. 6 up and 6 down. We are through 4 innings of play here at Stony Brook Field. The Whitecaps ahead of 2-1. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. The Whitecaps would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From the Cape Cod League to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. Back in action, top of the 5th, top of the order for Wareham due up, starting with Duran, who lays down a great bunt down the third baseline, charging his Dotris, barehanded, fires across, and it's a wild throw into right field. Rounding first base and heading into second base is Duran. He's still motoring. He's going to go all the way over to third. They're going to say that was out of play over toward the Wareham bullpen out in right field. So on a bunt, the speedy Duran is standing at third base. He really motored around those bases quickly.
Yeah, that's a guy, again, I've mentioned this before, but he had 19 steals this year, so we know he's a very fast guy. Looks like he's going to go in a second, though, because they did call it out of bounds.
So he is going to head back to second base. You're right. He was motoring there. I thought they gave him 1 and then the other 2 on the out of play, but they don't. They tell him to head back. Costas was the one who wound up fielding that baseball, but it had already squirted into the Wareham bullpen. So it's a runner on second base with nobody out. Brewster is ahead 2-1 in here in the top of the 5th. And here comes the 2-hitter Sable, who was 1 for 2 on the day, doubled in the first inning. McDermott still on the mound. He deals another bunt to the left side. This time McDermott scampers over and fields it. He throws across, and that one is in time at first base, though it does move the runner over to third on the sacrifice. So now it's Duran at third base, as was previously foretold, with 1 out. And it's up to the 3-hitter MacIver to try and drive him in. And even in this game, 2-1 Brewster. MacIver has 2 strikeouts to his name so far today. Both of them looking. The first pitch to the righty is outside. Brewster has the infield in. With the runner on third base and 1 out, Whitecaps still ahead 2-1. MacIver looking to drive in this runner from third. A lot of speed for Duran. He showcased it on that initial play. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. That one was low, it looked like, and MacIver went after it. 1 ball and 1 strike the count on Willie. That play was scored a hit that allowed Duran to reach. So an infield single. We've seen a couple of those today. Here comes the 1-1. Swan hit hard but foul toward the right side. And again over the Gatemen bullpen. So 1-2, then now the count.
Well, with a runner in scoring position, I'm told that J.R. McDermott is on a short leash. Coach Jamie Shevchuk keeping his eye on him, seeing what he can do here in this inning, but doesn't expect him to go much longer than this.
Went 5 in Hyannis. We're in the 5th now. 1-2 the count, righty to righty. Pitches swung, hit high in the air, foul ground right side. Taylor making a run for it over by the Wareham dugout, but it's out of his reach. We'll do it again with the count 1-2. There is a righty warming in the Whitecaps bullpen. Count 1-2 on the righty swinging Willie MacIver. MacIver is behind the plate for Wareham in this game. Has been primarily a third baseman for them this season and last spring for Washington. But says he always sees himself as a catcher. 1-2 pitches down and away. to make the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Getting word that is Andy Pagnozzi in the bullpen. The Ole Miss product out of Fayetteville, Arkansas, warming up for Jamie Shevchik's club. 2-2 the count on Willie MacIver. Runner on third base. Infield is still in for Brewster. 2-2 the count. It's 2-1 Whitecaps top 5. The pitch. It's a fastball down and away. So the count now full. And you wonder how much more is left here for McDermott in this game after extending this at-bat up against MacIver. I'm sure Jamie Shevchik could use some length. I mean, use the length that he's already gotten. Of course, Brewster entering into a long stretch, 17 games in 16 days. Here comes the payoff pitch from McDermott. It's a breaking ball up high. Didn't have as much bite as I think JR would have liked there. So it's a walk for MacIver. Runners on the corners with 1 out.
Well, we've seen 4 walks from him today, J.R. McDermott.
And that is going to be his final total as Jamie Shevchik is out. He has made the signal to bring in a fresh arm from the bullpen, but still a great outing for McDermott. 1 run allowed. He is responsible for the 2 runners on first and third. Brewster leads 2-1 in the top of the 5th. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. It is indeed Andy Pagnozzi coming on, the righty from Ole Miss, in relief of J.R. McDermott. McDermott finishes his day after 4 1/3 innings of work. It's 2-1 Whitecaps, first and third, top 5. With the 4-hitter, Bonfield at the plate. The pitch, a check swing on a pitch low. They check, and they're going to say that was a pitch in there for a strike anyway, so the count is 0-1 on the cleanup hitter Bonfield. Bonfield worked a hard-earned walk his last time, a couple of pitches that were very close in that at-bat, and wound up scoring the only Gatemen run. That was in the previous frame in the top of the 4th. The pitch from Pagnozzi is hit high in the air out toward left center field. On the run out there is Cesar Trejo, and he makes the catch moving to his left, tagging, and heading home to score on the play is Duran. So Wareham ties the score with a sacrifice fly out to left center from Bonfield. It's 2-2. So Bonfield gets the job done there, just lifted that baseball high in the air out to left center. There is some room in the power alleys here at Stony Brook Field. 375 out to left center, 380 out to right center. That's a tad more than you might see at some of the other ballparks around the Cape. And now it's John Topa's turn with the runner still at first base. That's Willie McIver. And now 2 men out. That run, of course, will be charged to McDermott. Runner goes. The pitch shows bunt. Takes it low. Throw down to second base is not in time. He's safe over there at second base. Waiting on the call there from Rick Del Vecchio, but he calls him safe. That one skipped a couple of times out there in front of the glove of Raffanino, and very dirty now is the jersey of Willie McIver, who was able to swipe second, so a runner in scoring position. I like that call there from Dan Shedden to send him over. 1-0 the count. Pitch is swung, hit hard on the ground to shortstop. Skipping over it there is the runner McIver. Graffinino fields and throws across for the out, and that retires the side in the top of the 5th. But not before the Gatemen put across the tying run on a sacrifice fly from Luke Bonfield. They get the run on just the 1 hit, and they leave 1 runner on base. We're through 4.5 innings of play, halfway through a regulation game. We're tied at 2 here in Brewster. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about all the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams online at curry.edu. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. We are entering the bottom of the 5th inning of what is now a tied game. Whole new ball game here in Brewster. 2 runs apiece after a couple of runs put across by the Gatemen in the 4th and 5th innings, and Hunter Bishop hits this one well out to left field. On the run is the left fielder Topa, and it's over the wall and it's off the wall, and it's a leadoff double for Hunter Bishop. He's able to put some good wood on that one and send it out to left field. That one's skipping off among the banners out there. And Topa is in to start things off in the bottom of inning number 5.
Well, that's a great first hit in the Cape League. Absolutely roped to left there. Almost went out. Just a couple of inches from being a 4-bagger there for Hunter Bishop.
And that's got to be good to see. Bishop had a frustrating day at the plate yesterday and hit a hard ground ball his first time up today on the second pitch he saw, able to drive that one out to straightaway left for a double. Top of the Brewster Whitecap order now, starting off with Graffinino. Holding the set is Culbertson, who's still in the pitch is just a bit outside. The count 1 ball and no strikes on A.J. Graffinino. Graffinino has reached base twice so far in this game. Reached on an error in the first inning and then was called out on a snap throw. He has a double of his own. That was in the second. Runner on second base, nobody out, tied game, bottom 5. The pitch is a fastball, just misses low. Count 2 balls and no strikes to A.J. Graffinino. Really has been a consistent presence for this Brewster Whitecap ball club as the roster has shifted a bunch. Here comes the 2-0 from Culbertson. It's fouled away toward the left side. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike on Graffinino. Brewster scored twice in the first inning for their 2 runs. Nick Dunn and Michael Curry credited with the RBIs on an infield single and a fielder's choice, respectively. For Wareham, they got a run in the 4th and a run in the 5th to tie the game. No outs to go. 2-1 pitch is bunted in front of the pitcher, Culbertson. He runs over to field it, throws across to first base in time. So Graffinino, trying to catch the infielder sleeping there, does get the sacrifice bunt to work. And it's a runner on third base now with 1 gone. And now it's up to Kyle Daughtris to try and drive in this run. Very similar to the situation that we saw for Wareham previously in the top of the 5th. A sacrifice bunt by Sable was able to move Duran over to third base after he had reached on a single and an error that moved him over to second. And then a sac fly from Bonfield was able to drive him in. We'll see if Daughtris can do something similar. The infield is in for Wareham. Here's the pitch. It's inside to the righty hitter. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes on Kyle. The UNC product singled and scored in the first inning and hit a pop fly that was nicely grabbed by the second baseman Duran in his second at-bat. So he is 1 for 2. 1-0 on the way. Fouled straight back to the screen. That one didn't get more than maybe 2 or 3 feet off the ground, just barely underneath that one. Got a piece. Did Kyle Daughtris. Daughtris, a rising junior. Started his collegiate career at UCLA. Has had good hands at third base since he's joined the team. One of those guys who showed up for the second half of the doubleheader this past Sunday against Katuitt. Waiting on a 1-1 pitch now from Culbertson. And it's low. That makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. We are even at 2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The runner on third is the 9-hitter Bishop, who reached on a hard hit double all the way out against the wall in the left field. 2-1 the count. Culbertson slowing down his work a little bit. Infield, remember, is in for Wareham. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's up and in. 3-1 the count. That fastball missed there from Culbertson. And so Daughtris ahead in the count here with the count 3 balls and 1 strike. Pretty big hole just straight up the middle here as the shortstop Baird is playing maybe a step or 2 toward third base with the infield in. 3-1 pitch. Swan hit high in the air, foul ground right field. It'll get over everything. So it's 3-2 now. We'll do it again. Nice battle brewing here between Culbertson and Daughtris. That hit by Bishop was the first hit that Culbertson has surrendered in this game through 2 perfect innings of work to start things off in the 3rd and 4th. Well, that included a couple of strikeouts. But Bishop was able to put the wood on it. Holding the set now. Here's the 3-2. Breaking ball in there for strike 3. Daughtris got fooled there, froze him with the breaking ball. Just dropped that one in there. And Daughtris is down looking, the 3rd strikeout of the game for Culbertson.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. It's open after hours and weekends and staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care.
Here is Mickey Gasper, the switch hitter, moving over to the left side. Against the righty, the pitch is taken for a strike on the inside part of the plate. Count is 0-1 on Mickey. The switch hitter doubled in the first inning and later came around to score Brewster's 2nd run. He hit a high fly ball left field and was retired in the 3rd. We're tied at 2. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Brewster has a man on 3rd. The corners are now the only ones in for the Gatemen. The 0-1 pitch is outside on a fastball. And the count is 1-1. And even now with the count even at 1-1, the first baseman Sable moves back. So it's just the third baseman Metz who's playing close to that runner on third. Bishop. 1-1 the count to Mickey Gasper. He's been seeing the ball so well. Here's the pitch. It's hit high in the air toward left field. Moving back is Topa, moving to his right a bit. Now he's underneath it, and he makes the grab to retire the side. So Brewster gets a leadoff two-bagger from Hunter Bishop, but they're unable to make anything out of it. They go down in the 5th inning. No runs, a hit, and 1 left for Brewster. We're through 5, tied at 2. You're listening to Whitecaps Baseball. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola are proud supporters of the CCBL as well as many other wonderful Cape Cod organizations that serve our community. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. Welcome back. Stony Brook Field on where there looks like there's some clouds kind of getting over our heads, moving in toward the outfield here with the score tied as we're ready to begin the top of the 6th inning. Tied at 2. Here between the Whitecaps and the Wareham Gatemen. Due up for Wareham, it is the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, starting with Jake Anchia, who digs in from the right side against Andy Pagnazzi, who's still on the mound for Brewster. Righty to righty, the pitch is a fastball called for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Pagnazzi has just faced 2 hitters, gave up that sac fly to Luke Bonfield. That run was charged to the starter McDermott. 0-1. Bounces in the dirt. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Pagnazzi. And Chia's had a pretty good start to his Cape season. Had a good game yesterday. 1-1 on the way. Swan in a soft ground ball. They're going to say that hit Anchia's leg or something. It dribbled in front of the home plate circle there, but play is called dead. 1-2 the count on the rising junior from Miami Lakes, Florida. And she has experienced one of the greatest things you can experience in all of baseball, and that's catching the final out in the championship game. Caught a pop fly behind the plate when he won the state championship in high school. 1-2 the count. Here comes the pitch to the righty. And that one is low on a breaking ball there from Pagnazzi. Count is 2-2. Pagnazzi's numbers so far on the Cape League season, just the 1 outing through 1 inning, gave up 2 hits and a run. Pitch is hit high in the air out towards center field. Underneath it is Bishop. He takes just a couple of steps back and puts the ball away. That one was a hot shot out there to center field, but to straight away center, and Bishop hardly had to move a muscle to make the play for out number 1. So Anchia is retired, and now it's Robbie Metz's turn. Metz has one of the 2 Wareham RBIs as we stand here in a 2-2 game, top of the 6th inning. It was a single in the 4th. That was the first run for Wareham. The pitch shows bunt, takes a breaking ball outside. 1-0 the count on Metz. In his first at-bat, he struck out swinging. One of 7 strikeout victims from J.R. McDermott, who went 4 1/3 in this game. 1-0 pitch. It's a soft ground ball back to the pitcher, Pagnazzi. He fields it and underhands it over to Taylor at first base for out number 2. So Pagnazzi gets what he typically looks for there, a soft piece of soft contact, a little dribbler. And Metz is now 1 for 3 on his day. Here comes Tanner Dodson. Wareham Gatemen center fielder has a couple of walks to his credit today. One of 4 surrendered by McDermott. Those 2 that he had. And he digs in from the left side. Lefty hitter against the righty hurler Pagnazzi. Here's the first pitch. It's taken for a strike on the inside corner. That was down and in at the knees level. The call is strike by home plate ump Mark Piandadosi. And taking a couple of practice swings now behind the plate is Dotson. He is in no hurry to come in order to take a swing at a pitch with the 2 walks today. Here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball hit well out to left field. It's going to tail toward foul territory and land there with no one to receive it. Trejo gave his best effort on the run but was not close to that ball. 0-2 now the count.
Dotson did pitch 52 innings for the Golden Bears of Cal Berkeley this year, so really, truly a player that can kind of play wherever. He was also a designated hitter, a center fielder, so he's been everywhere out there on the diamond.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It is in there for a called strike 3 on the outside corner to the switch hitter batting from the left side. Dotson is down looking, and it's a 1-2-3. Top of the 6th inning for Pagnazzi. We are through 5.5 innings of play, tied at 2 still. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. It will be Nick Dunn, Michael Curry, and Chandler Taylor for the Brewster Whitecaps in their half of the 6th inning. We're tied at 2 here at Stony Brook Field. Carter Waddell, Morris Sheridan, Aiden Doyle here with you. And the first pitch is swung and hit well out to left field toward the line and getting into foul ground, tailing toward the Brewster bullpen. So the count is 0-1 on Nick Dunn. Peyton Culbertson, the Arkansas State product, is still on the mound for the Gatemen, sitting 90-92 with that fastball. He's done a pretty good job so far since entering the game. He took over at the start of the 3rd inning and has given up just 1 hit. It was a hard hit double by Hunter Bishop in the previous frame. Here comes the 0-1 from the righty. It's outside. And the count is 1-1 on the Whitecap second baseman, Nick Dunn. A deep breath on the mound from Culbertson. And here comes the 1-1 from the righty. Swung and hit well out to right field. On the run is the right fielder Bonfield, and it drops into the right field corner for an extra base hit for Nick Dunn. He's heading into second base, and he will stop there for a standing double. That one just placed right at the base of the right field wall, and Nick Dunn, another leadoff double, second in as many frames for Brewster. They've got a runner in scoring position and no one out.
Well, a good day for Nick Dunn. That's 2 at-bats and 2 hits for him.
Dunn had that infield single to drive in the Whitecaps' first run of the game in the bottom of the 1st inning, and now an important series of at-bats here. Michael Curry is up. If you remember, if you were watching last night, Jamie Shevchik was able to pull the string, bring Curry in as a pinch hitter in a crucial situation like this late in last night's game. He wound up singling home the tying run before Chandler Taylor broke things open with a 3-run homer. The pitch to the righty, Curry, is taken for a strike at the knees. 0-1 is the count. In this game, Curry is reached on a fielder's choice, drove in Brewster's 2nd run, and flew out to center field in the 3rd inning. We've seen a bunch of fly balls from Brewster in this game. Made the outfielders work for Wareham. 0-1 the count. The pitch is taken for another strike at the knees. And Curry will walk a bit outside the batter's box area after seeing that one. 0-2 is the count. Curry takes a deep breath to recollect himself and digs back into the right-handed box. The Whitecaps' designated hitter today, as he often is. Runner is on second base. That's Nick Dunn. Here comes the 0-2. Swann hit well out to left field. On the run is Topa, and it's over his head and into the left field corner. Rounding third is Dunn. He will come in to score. Heading into second base and getting there safely with a double is Michael Curry. It's an RBI double for Curry, and Brewster leads 3-2.
That's 3 doubles today given up by Culbertson. The Whitecaps able to just make the most out of their hits, get into scoring position.
Terrific piece of hitting there. That one lifted out to left field corner. It's funny, we saw that from the lefty Dunn going out to right, and now the righty Curry takes it out to left. Two very similar pieces of hitting, kind of mirror images of one another. And now it's time for Chandler Taylor. Runner on second base is Curry. He's a catcher who runs like one. Culbertson holds the set and deals. Pitch is outside. You're right that all 3 hits that Culbertson has given up more on the extra base hit variety. Double from Bishop to start the bottom of the 5th. And then the back-to-back doubles from Dunn and Curry to give Brewster a 3-2 lead. Here in the bottom of the 6th as time is called in the batter's box by Curry. Curry had a couple of homers last night. The first one was a moonshot. Went 457 feet, we've heard, out to right center field. That was a solo shot and then followed up with a 3-run dinger in the very next inning. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's swung and grounded foul, first base side, right into the Wareham dugout. Speared over there by Shedden, the field manager. Runner on second base for Brewster. 1 ball and 1 strike on Taylor. Taylor on his day today. He singled in the first inning and struck out swinging in the 4th. That was against Culbertson. Interesting note, but this is the second time through the Whitecap lineup now for Culbertson. Has not gone as smoothly as the first time through. Here comes the 1-1. It's outside. 2-1 the count on the Alabama product, Chandler Taylor. Taylor has said that he's been working with Ryan Smythe and some of the other folks on the Brewster coaching staff to try and get more comfortable at the plate. One of those guys that took a while to adjust from the metal bat to the wood bat coming here at the start of the season. 2-1 the count. The righty Culbertson checks the runner and deals. Swing and a miss on a pitch that was low, and Taylor now facing a 2-2 count. Bit of a nod there from Taylor as he walks back into the box. With the count 2-2 on Chandler. Michael Curry is on second. Still no one out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 run in on the double from Curry. There is action in the Wareham pen. Looks like a righty is warming up out there. Culbertson, remember, started his outing in the 3rd inning. We're now in the bottom of the 6th of a 3-2 game in favor of the Whitecaps. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on a pitch in the dirt. Taylor is down on strikes for the 2nd time in this game. And there's one away. Both of these, that's the 4th strikeout now for Culbertson since he entered the game. Half of those coming against Chandler Taylor. And now it's Marty Costas' turn. Costas, the Maryland product, is 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out on a fastball in the 1st inning and did a hard line drive right to the right fielder Bonfield. His last time up. The pitch is low in the dirt to start off Costas' at-bat. Love what you said about Costas earlier in this game, more about how Shevchik kind of characterizes as a free swinger. The guy will put the ball in play, and if he gets an out, he can reset. He's got a short memory.
Well, a chance to kind of erase that early struggle here. A big second hit this would be if he could get on base today.
Culbertson is ready. Runner on second base, 1 out. The pitch is in there for strike number 1. Just grooved that one in there, did Culbertson. And the count is even now 1-1 on Costas. Brewster is ahead 3-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Whitecaps got their run on the RBI double from Curry. Back-to-back doubles in this inning. The first one was from Dunn, who scored the run. Waiting on the 1-1 now to Costas. The pitch is down and in. That one nearly clipped him. It's inside for ball 2. 2-1 the count. Brewster, after this, has one more home game tomorrow against the Katuitt Kettleers. And then they go on the road to face the Anglers in Chatham at a 7 p.m. start in the evening. And then back here for a twin bill with the Bourne Braves. 2-1 the count on Costas. And here comes the pitch from Culbertson. Swan hit hard through the middle. It's going to get into center field for a base hit. Rounding third is Curry. They're sending him home. The throw comes in from center field, and it won't be in time. It's cut off. It's an RBI single for Marty Costas, and Brewster doubles their lead. It's now 4-2 Whitecaps.
Well, that's hit number 2, and it's an RBI for Marty Costas, so hopefully just erasing those struggles gets him into a groove. It's got to be an uplifting feeling to get your teammate in there to give your team a 2-run lead.
2 hits and 2 runs batted in for Costas now on the season, as the Whitecaps lead 4-0, and that is all she wrote for Culbertson. They're going to call for a new pitcher, and we'll tell you who it is when we return. You are listening to Whitecaps Baseball. It's now 4-2 Brewster here in the bottom of the 6th. Welcome you back to Brewster. Whitecaps ahead 4-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Blakely Brown that's warming up, but before we get to him, let's go to Aiden Doyle, who's got a report for us. Aiden?
Thanks, Carter. I had the opportunity to talk with Marty Costas' host father here, a member of the Whitecaps Board of Directors, Doug Scalise, and he told me that Marty, being a multi-sport athlete in high school, never really got a chance to focus solely on baseball. That opportunity only presented itself when he got to College Park as a member of the Maryland Terrapins team, and now that he's finally getting to play baseball all year round, not just in the spring and early summer, he's really looking to develop his skills. He's got the physical talent. I know you and I talked about his lightning fast bat speed earlier. Now it's just a matter of developing and fine-tuning that talent into production on the field.
All right, thank you, Aiden. Yeah, if you ask Marty Costas who his favorite athlete is, he'll tell you Kobe Bryant. He's on first base after an RBI single to make it a 4-2 game in favor of the Whitecaps. And the first pitch from Brown, but Georgia Bulldog misses outside to Cesar Trejo, sitting from the right side for Brewster. Trejo had a hard line drive to shortstop his first time and then struck out looking in the 4th inning his last time up. Brewster ahead 4-2, 2 runs in his bottom of the 6th inning. The pitch is low. Both of those runs were charged to Culbertson. The Arkansas State product was firing on all cylinders for the first 3 frames that he was in the game. He started off in the 3rd through the 4th and 5th innings as well. Gave up just the 1 hit in those frames. That was the double from the 9-hitter Bishop. But in the 6th inning, gave up back-to-back doubles, was able to get a strikeout of Chandler Taylor, and then the RBI single from Costas, and that was it. Pitch to Cesar Trejo is a swing and a miss. Looked like he was golfing on that one. That was a ball in the dirt, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike now on Trejo. Brown, a rising junior out of Statesboro, Georgia, had a 6.92 ERA in 26 innings pitched for the Bulldogs this year. Back in the spring, had 10 walks and 29 Ks, 2-1 pitches, hit well, high in the air out to left center field. Topa moving to his left, he's looking and he's turning, and that ball is out of here. Out to left center field off the bat of Cesar Trejo, a 2-run home run, and Brewster will double their lead again. A high fly ball for the 2-run shot from Trejo makes it 6-2 Whitecaps.
Well, Cesar Trejo loves those big moments. Seems like he has been the guy in a couple of games now, just stepping up and having those highlight moments. He knocked in 3 guys against YD the other day and then didn't play yesterday, and now he comes back here with a homer.
That one took a long time to get out of here, didn't it? That one hung up in the sky. The wind is blowing pretty much straight out to center field, if the big old flag in center field is any indicator. 6-2 Whitecaps. The pitch is outside now to Hunter Bishop, who's taken his first hack since that double he had in the 5th inning. Cesar Trejo with his first home run of the year. RBIs 4 and 5. The 1-0 pitch is down and in to Bishop, who besides that double in the 5th had a hard ground ball to second base in the 2nd inning. 2-0 now the count on the ASU Sun Devil. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. It's hit high in the air to shallow left center field. Coming in is Topa, and he will make the catch on the run. Had to avoid his shortstop Baird, who wound up hitting the deck in shallow left center field, but an underhanded catch there from Topa out in left field is the 2nd out of the bottom of the 6th.
Well, it's interesting to note that it seems like the Whitecaps like to just have explosive innings. They had 5 runs in 1 inning against YD. They had 5 runs in 1 inning yesterday against Falmouth, and then they just had a big 4-run inning right now, still not over, but it seems like when they hit, they just hit in explosive amounts.
And here is A.J. Graffinino. You're right, Maura, and if you're wondering about that left runners on base count that we talked about at the beginning of the game, only 4 so far for Brewster here in the 6th. The pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner by Graffinino. Graffinino has had a pretty varied day on the scorecard. Reached on an error in the 1st, doubled in the 2nd, and laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 5th. That was his last time up. 6-2 Caps. Here's the 0-1 pitch, hit a soft ground ball to second base. Fielded there by Duran. He throws across for the out, and that finishes things for Brewster in the bottom half of the 6th inning. But not before the Whitecaps put across 4 runs. The big blow, the 2-run homer by Cesar Trejo. 4 runs in the inning for Brewster on 4 hits. They leave nobody on base. We're through 6 full innings of play. The Whitecaps lead 6-2. You are listening to Whitecaps Baseball.
All-Star Game weekend starts with the celebrity softball game on July 21st at McEwen Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Billy, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org. Well, we got a pitching change in for the Whitecaps. Will Tribuker back at the mound. We've seen him before. He pitched against Cotuit a couple games ago. 2 hits, 2 runs in that game. First pitch from him is a fastball. That's low and out. Ball 1. At the plate for Wareham, Ben Baird, the number 9 hitter. Tribuker getting set for pitch number 2. It's fouled off towards the right side behind the bleachers. 1-1 count. Tribuker, a Michigan Wolverine.
This is the role, I mean, I know we saw him as a starter in that twin bill versus Cotuit, but this is the role that Coach Shevchik kind of envisions him in for the rest of the season, to be a lefty out of the pen. This team is a little bit short on lefties, especially as relievers.
1-1 pitch. Fouled to the right side again. That's a fastball. 1-2 count now for Ben Baird. Tribuker, typically a relief pitcher in Michigan too, so this is a role he's pretty comfortable with. Average a 2.25 ERA at Michigan this year. Taking his time at the mound, the 1-2 pitch. That's hit right back to him. He'll take his time and just throw it over to first for the first out of this top of the 7th inning. Ben Baird gets out on a short grounder right to the pitcher himself.
That's just what Tribuker is looking for. He's another one of those guys that will throw fastball in the low 90s. He's got a curve and a change and has a deceptive delivery that tries to keep hitters guessing, but soft contact is the name of the game for him. Able to get it there to start things off.
Jaron Duran, leadoff hitter, up for the Gatemen. Fastball fouled out left. I'm told Tribuker is getting up to 94 today. Oh, 1 count to Jaron Duran. He struck out twice today, but he did get a double in the 5th inning. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, doesn't quite hit, so it's a 1-1 count. Duran, this is only his 2nd game for the Gatemen. Has 2 hits for Wareham so far. Breaking ball, bounces off the glove of Mickey Gasper. Back into the netting. So that's ball 2. 2-1 count from Tribuker. Tribuker did have 2 saves this year at Michigan. Whitecaps up 6-2 on Wareham. Another fastball from Tribuker misses, so it's a 3-1 count. Some practice swings here from Duran. Wareham has a ways to go if they want to get back in this game, down 4 runs. On the release, Duran hits it over to Graffinino, who throws it across to first base just in time. So that's out number 2.
But we've been marveling at A.J. Graffinino's quick hands all year. That was another example, knowing he did not have a ton of time. Ben Baird has some speed to him. On a tricky hop, he pulled it up toward the Whitecaps on his Whitecaps jersey, and then was able to make a quick throw over and just get Baird by a step. Graffinino has flashed the leather at shortstop so far this season.
Blake Sable up for Wareham right now. Sable had a double in this game. First pitch, he hits it right to Graffinino, almost the same play, and Graffinino makes the play once again over to Chandler Taylor. So 3 down, 3 up, 3 down for Tribuker. It's still a Whitecaps 6-2 lead over Wareham. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball.
Gift certificate from
Well, the score is 6-2, Whitecaps up on the Gatemen, but this isn't the only game going on around the league. We'll hear from Koki Riley on updates and scores. Koki?
Thanks, Mara. For our only 5 o'clock game, Whitey has a 5-3 lead against Catuit from Red Wilson Field. As for the 6 o'clock games, Harwich are down 1-0 against Bourne in the 3rd inning from Dorn Park in Bourne, while the Hyannis Harbor Hawks are tied 2-2 against Falmouth. Finally, for our only 7 o'clock game, Chatham and Orleans are scoreless from Eldridge Park. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Koki. Kyle Daughtris gets ball number 1 off a fastball. Second pitch, Daughtris hits a little blooper up the third base line, and he's able to get to first. It just barely stays fair. So Kyle Daughtris gets a single off of what was almost a bunt, but he did swing at it.
How do you like that? That was one of those where it looks like you're golfing. Just rolls right into the desired spot. That one came to a spot right on the chalk, didn't it? I do owe you a couple of pitching lines, don't I, Maura? Culbertson went 3 1/3 for Wareham, gave up 4 hits, gave up 3 runs. All of them were earned. Walked nobody and struck out 4. And for the Whitecaps, Andy Pagnazzi came in through 5 outs, an inning and 2/3, and was perfect, striking out 1 batter.
Blakely Brown still at the mound for Wareham. His first pitch into Mickey Gasper is a strike. Got him with the fastball there. Gasper, he has a double, and he did pop up to left field earlier today.
Looks like
Second pitch in for ball number 1. It's a 1-1 count.
Looks like Robert Broom is taking his warm-up tosses for Brewster. That's one of those guys where you don't need the binos to tell that he's warming up. He's got that submarine motion out there in the Whitecaps pen.
Brown set up for the third pitch. Another little blooper that stays fair for Gasper. He'll run to first but won't make it in time. Daughtris looks to go into third, and they'll call him safe, so Kyle Daughtris will move 2 to get into scoring position here. Mickey Gasper gets the first out while running to first, but moves along Kyle Daughtris to third base.
That's an interesting decision there by the hurler Blakely Brown. That was a slow roller down the first base side. I guess he was worried that he was going to see a repeat of what we saw after Nick Dunn hit that ground ball down the third base line, but stayed fair. But I think that ball might have been headed into foul ground, and if he had waited before he picked it up, then perhaps we wouldn't see Daughtris at third base, but decided to take the sure thing, get the out at first. But now Wareham's going to have to bring the infield in, trailing 6-2 with a runner on third.
Nick Dunn now at the plate for the Whitecaps. Has a double and an RBI single today. First pitch from Brown is well out. Ball number 1. The 1-0 pitch on its way. That's in for a strike on the left corner. Counts even at 1. Runner on third. Kyle Daughtris on third for the Whitecaps. Looking to extend this lead. It's 6-2 right now. Whitecaps on top. Third pitch in for another ball. It's a 2-1 count to Nick Dunn. Well, Blakely Brown came in, and first batter he faced, Cesar Trejo, gave up a 2-run homer. Dunn fouls the next pitch off to left field.
Wareham's got their bullpen warming too. Looks like Noah Zavolis is out there, I'm told. The righty out of Harvard University. One of a couple Ivy League guys on the rosters for these two teams.
Nick Dunn swings at the next pitch, and that will be a strikeout on a fastball from Brown. Gets a second baseman to whiff at it. So that's out number 2 for the Whitecaps. Still a runner on third. Trying not to leave him stranded. They've only left 4 stranded today, but in past games the Whitecaps have struggled with that problem. Bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch to designated hitter Michael Curry is in for a ball. Ball 1. It's a Georgia pitcher versus a Georgia hitter. See a lot of Bulldogs out here on the Cape League. Curry ropes one up the third base line and will drive Daughtris in. So Michael Curry gets the best of his teammate in for an RBI single.
What a day for Curry at the plate. That's the 3rd separate time he's driven in a run. Now extended his RBI total on the year from 2 to 5. Whitecaps baseball brought to you by the Fuller Family Foundation. The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Runner at first for Chandler Taylor out of Alabama. First pitch in for a ball for Taylor. 1-0 count. Michael Curry at first for the Whitecaps. Taylor struck out twice today. He did have a single early in the first inning. Brown with the pitch, a low ball. So that's 2 on the count, 2-0. Brown getting set. Pitch is a strike. Chandler wanted that one, but whiffed at it, so that's a 2-1 count.
Give credit to Brown on the mound for that pitch selection. He shook off a couple of signs there from the catcher McIver. That was the one he wanted, that pitch tailing down and away to the lefty.
Taylor calls timeout. Wants to compose himself after a strike there. Taking his time getting back in the batter's box. All set up now. Brown getting ready for the 2-1 pitch. On its way, and that's another ball, down for 3-1 count here. Chandler Taylor in the batter's box for the Whitecaps. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Whitecaps already have 1 run off an RBI single from Michael Curry. And Chandler Taylor will rope one off to the right field, and that's out of here. Chandler Taylor, for the 2nd game in a row, gets a home run. That's 3 within 2 days for Chandler Taylor.
Holy cow, what a shot. You could hear that one off the bat. A towering homer to right center, very similar to the first one that he had here yesterday. And boy, Chandler Taylor is seeing the baseball really well right now.
So that puts the Whitecaps up. That's a 2-run homer there, so it's a 9-2 score here at Stony Brook Field. The Whitecaps hold a pretty strong lead over Wareham right now. Chandler Taylor, when Coach Shevchik said he was a power hitter, he was not lying. Taylor ranked 3rd in the SEC with home runs 16. We've already seen 3 out of him. in Brewster. It looks like there's going to be a pitching change for Wareham. Brown is out. We'll let you know who is coming in for Wareham when we come back. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Well, the Whitecaps up on Wareham 9-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They've already scored 3 runs. We just saw Chandler Taylor hit a 2-run shot to right field. And now a pitching change for Wareham. Noah Zavolis in from Harvard University. His first pitch to Marty Costas is in for a strike.
The final line on Brown, whom Savolis replaces, an inning and a third, 4 hits allowed, gave up 4 runs, all of them earned. No walks, 1 strikeout.
0-1 count to Marty Costas. Second pitch from Zavolis is a ball. 1-1 even count for Marty Costas. Costas, the right fielder, struck out. Popped up, but he did get 1 RBI single, responsible for a run here. He'll foul that one off, just barely out on the third base line. It's a 1-2 count, 1 ball, 2 strikes for Marty Costas. Zavolis has seen some time for the Wareham. He pitched 2 innings, allowed a hit, no runs. He'll throw another ball to Marty Costas. It's a 2-2 even count.
Nice job to lay that one off from Costas. For a guy who's got a reputation as a free swinger, a 12-6 curveball on the outer half is a pretty tempting target, but he lays off.
Next pitch, Marty Costas will hit up to the shortstop, and he'll just kind of bobble it, so Costas will get in for a single. There, Marty Costas gets 2 hits in a row after a kind of rough start to his season.
Yeah, we'll see how they score that, because that Baird looked like he didn't quite come up with that baseball well. The shortstop still do not have a scoring decision in on that play. That just came in, and I think the speed of Costas was part of that, part of the calculus that short for Baird was very quick in trying to get that baseball up from his glove. They just came through. It scored a hit for Costas, which I think is appropriate. The speed of Costas is one of the reasons why the misplay happened anyway. So an infield hit for him, and he's 2 for 4.
Cesar Trejo, left fielder now, batting for the Whitecaps. responsible for one of the 2 home runs we've seen today from Brewster. Savalas checking up on Marty Casas there, as you mentioned. Speedy player there at first base for Brewster. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. It's been a big one for the Whitecaps. 3 runs scored. First pitch to Trejo. In for a ball. Ball 1. 1-0 count. Trejo digging in. Waiting for pitch number 2. Savalas with the 0-1 pitch. Trejo will get it up the third base line, in for a base hit. Another hit from Cesar Trejo. And he'll move Marty Costas to second, so now another runner in scoring position for the Whitecaps.
Boy, Trejo's been seeing the ball well, too. That one laced right into the shortstop hole on the left side. The Whitecaps are really putting the bat on the ball here in these past couple innings. 4 in the 6th and 7 and 3rd in the 7th.
From Kansas, one of the Jayhawks, Devin Foyle.
Devin Foyle pinch hitting here for Hunter Bishop. He'll round up the lineup as the number 9 hitter for the Whitecaps. Wearing number 27. He'll strike on the first pitch, so it's an 0-1 count to Devin Foyle. Runners on first and second here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 outs here for Brewster. Noah Zavolis at the mound for Wareham. His second pitch to Foyle fouled off and hits the netting, so it's an 0-2 count. Zavolis ahead, trying to close this inning out after his teammate allowed 3 runs.
Saw a good game from Foyle in that tie versus YD. Got on twice, scored a couple of runs. That was his last action as a starter.
Next pitch is a breaking ball that doesn't quite bite for a 1-2 count to Devin Foyle.
And then, of course, yesterday, he came in a situation much like this as a replacement. Didn't wind up taking any hacks at the plate. Came in the outfield.
The 1-2 pitch. In for strike number 3. So that's a strikeout, the first one for Noah Zavalis to end the inning. But it was a big inning for Brewster, 3 runs, so now it's a 9-2 Whitecaps lead over the Gatemen. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Well, it's the top of the 8th inning, and we got a pitching change for the Whitecaps. Robert Broom in for Brewster at the mound. taking some practice throws right now. And Broom's been very successful for the Whitecaps. He's had two games where he came in relief. He has a 1.68 ERA. And really just an interesting player to watch regardless. A submarine pitcher. I think we all love talking about him, love watching him. Just a really fun guy to watch pitch. Stuff is not fast, but it really gets guys.
Very simple line for Will Tribuker. He came in through one frame and he got 3 ground balls. So an inning and nothing across.
Willie McIver at the box for Wareham. Is first pitch fouled right behind him towards the netting.
And it'll be interesting to see because McIver is the 3 hitter, and everyone down to the 8 hitter Dotson, who's a switch hitter, is a right-handed hitter in Coach Shedden's lineup today. And it's really tough, especially against righties, against Broom.
Breaking ball in there for a nasty strike. Had quite the slider there. It's an 0-2 count to Willie McIver.
So it makes Broom so tough in a relief role. It's so hard to see that junk that he's throwing at you.
Third pitch on its way. And it's hit by McIver for a base hit. It will cross over the infield's heads and drop right into left field. So that's a single there for Willie McIver to start out this 8th inning.
That was a terrific piece of hitting by McIver. Just went out and met the baseball and lifted it out into left field. That's what you got to do against Robert Broom to get that sort of contact. Great piece of hitting for the leadoff single.
No outs, runner on first for Luke Bonfield. Had a great day yesterday, went 4 for 5 at the plate. First pitch from Broom, in for a strike, a fastball. Gets Bonfield swinging. 0-1 count. Bonfield struck out today. Fastball in for ball 1. 1-1 count. Bonfield struck out, walked, and had a pop fly. Hasn't got on base, just got on base the one time on the walk today. No hits from him today. Third pitch in for a strike. Another fastball from Broom. It's a 1-2 count. Broom hit 91 on that last strike. It's a 1-2 pitch. In for another strike. His first strikeout on a nasty breaking ball from Robert Broom gets Luke Bonfield. And that's the first out of this inning.
You know, I've done some softball games in my work, and that's one of those pitches that you see on the softball field a lot. That was, you know, we were talking about how Robert Broom's arm angle can really change. That was a real submarine pitch, and it looked like that pitch kind of rose up on Luke Bonfield, wound up swinging underneath it. Another weird pitch in Broom's arsenal.
So McIver doesn't move, still on first base. John Topa up. The first pitch is a fastball, gets him on a strike, 0-1 count to the 5th hitter, John Topa. Playing left field today for Wareham. He struck out, got to first, also grounded out today. Fastball in for ball 1, 1-1 count. One pitch on its way. A little blooper up the third base line. And it was fielded by Christian Molfetta, but not in time. He didn't even make the throw. So runner on first. McIver moved to second. Molfetta took over for Dautris at third. Now 2 runners on for Jake and Chia. One out here in the top of the 8th inning. Brewster up 9-2 on Wareham. First pitch, fastball, in for ball one. 1-0 count.
That was another one of those pitches that just ran up to the right-handed hitter. That can be so hard to spot. Submarine guy. Righty to righty.
Broom, the release, and gets him swinging. So that's strike number one. 1-1 count. Runners on first and second. Big lead here for Brewster. Up 7 runs. Wareham trying to close that right here. Broom, breaking ball in for a strike. That's a 1-2 count from Robert Broom.
Well, that's hard-arming breaking ball. That's one of those pitches that I like to see a lot. Moves almost in an arc from such a low release point there from Broom and then drops back into the strike zone.
Fouled off on that next pitch, a fastball. Jake Anchia hit it right into the netting behind him. Count now 1-2. Anchia, a real power hitter. He had 17 home runs at Nova Southeastern this year. Mercer pitcher releases, and a little hit over to the second baseman, and looks like it's going to be a double play. Gets Topa and Anchia to end the inning, so that is it for the top of the 8th. Whitecaps still on top, 9-2. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Baseball Factory, which has proudly supported the Cape League for 17 seasons, conducts baseball training, tournaments, and showcases at over 600 events nationwide, providing players with world-class instruction. The Baseball Factory program leads to future success both on and off the field for players age 8 through 18. Learn more at baseballfactory.com. Well, we got another pitching change for Wareham. Fitz Stadler at the mound for the Gatesmen. And he'll face
looks like Connor Smith digging in for the Whitecaps.
Now at the plate, ladies and gentlemen,
In a pinch hitting appearance, looks like he's coming in for
Michigan, Connor.
Graffinino at the top of the lineup.
So Connor Smith takes the plate. First pitch from Stadler is hit by Connor Smith right into right field, drops right in. So that's a single for Connor Smith in his first at-bat of the game.
That's got to feel good for Smith out of the lineup today. Comes in, the first pitch he sees, sends it out to right field down the line. Nicely done.
So here comes Christian Molfetta in for the Whitecaps. Pinch hitting for Kyle Daughtry. He took over at third. Molfetta out of Stanford. Whitecaps on top of the Gatemen, 9-2. First pitch from Stadler.
The line on Zavolis, just the 3 batters, gave up 2 hits him on the strikeout, so it's a third of an inning, 2 hits allowed, no runs, and a K. No walks.
First pitch in for a ball, so it's a 1-0 count to Molfetta. A little checkup there from Stadler on Smith. Smith will make it back to first in time, so still a 1-0 count. Molfetta.
Connor Smith is 2 for 2 stealing bases this year, so not one to ignore, even with the Whitecaps up here 9-2.
Second pitch, another ball. It's a 2-0 count to Molfetta. Bottom of the 8th inning here. Stony Brook Field. Runner on first. Big lead for the Whitecaps. Up 7 runs. Third pitch, foul. Will stay foul on that one. Looked like it was going to drop fair, but just dropped in foul, so Molfetta still at bat.
On a Taylor down the right field line. Definitely giving a chase out there was Bonfield scampering into the corner. But that was maybe 2 or 3 feet foul.
That's the only place where the sun's really shining. Shadows have kind of covered up the rest of the field. It's pretty bright out there, though, in right field. Stadler getting set at the mound. Pitch in for strike number 2. It's an even count to Molfetta. Molfetta, a temporary player from Laguna Beach, California. And the pitch is down on the ground, and it looks like Smith will run to second and be safe. The pickoff is no good. So Connor Smith moves to second.
We'll put that in the book as an old wild pitch, it looked like, because that skipped in front of the catcher McIver, gave Smith just enough time.
That's his 3rd stolen base of the year in the CCBL. Connor Smith. Full count here, Christian Molfetta. Three-two pitch. Molfetta drops it over the shortstop, able to pick it up, and he'll get it in time. Blake Sabal at first, stretches out, gets him out, and Christian Molfetta goes down. That's the first out of this inning.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only, you guessed it, $9.99 as number 9 Mickey Gasper steps up to the plate here. Those entrees are big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Mickey Gasper takes the plate for the Whitecaps with a runner on third. First pitch low and out. Ball 1 for Mickey Gasper.
Infield is in again for Wareham. We've seen that a few times. Trying to keep the runner at third, Smith, from coming around.
Gasper looking to get his 8th RBI on the season. There's a runner in third. He'll take that next pitch. No swing there, but it's a strike. 1-1 count to Mickey Gasper. Connor Smith stole second and then was moved to third. Christian Molfetta's ground out. Stadler with the 1-1 pitch. That one's low. And it's a 2-1 count. Mickey Gasper. Gasper does have a double today, but the rest of his at-bats, he hasn't got on base. Two-one count on pitch on its way. That's in for a strike, so it's an even count at 2. Mickey Gasper takes that one.
Nice job mixing it up, throwing the old curveball in there from Stadler.
Gasper calls timeout, tries to figure things out before getting back in the batter's box.
Stadler's got plenty of stature on the mound at 6'9".
Stadler checking third, and then releases the pitch. Gasper a little blooper up to first, and he'll get out. Duran gets him out on that one. Connor Smith stays at third, so that's 2 down for the Whitecaps. With a runner on third here in the bottom of the 8th inning. They're up 9-2, though.
And that's tough for Gasper. He did put some good wood on that baseball with the infield in. A lot of hard ground balls are obviously going to get through, but that went right to the second baseman, Duran. Good job from him to make sure Smith didn't have any ideas, checked the runner, and flipped over to first base. Just what the doctor ordered for Wareham, trying to keep this lead at 9-2 for Brewster.
Nick Dunn at the plate for the Whitecaps. First pitch to Dunn hits the dirt, and that's a ball. Dunn has an RBI single today and a double, but he also struck out at his last at-bat. Connor Smith still at third. Mickey Gasper unable to get him home. Dunn will try his hand. The 1-0 pitch is not quite there. That's ball 2. Dunn ahead in the count, 2-0. This could be the Whitecaps' last at-bat, barring a huge comeback from the Gatemen the next half inning. Strike 1 called on that next pitch. Dunn yet to swing at anything. 3 tries. It's a 2-1 count. Stadler keeping his eye on third. And Dunn will ground one right over to Jaron Duran, and he'll get out at first. So Connor Smith unable to make it all the way home, despite getting all the way to third. So that's 3 outs, and we're done with 8 innings. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Well, we're back in what could be the final half inning for the Whitecaps and the Gatemen. Brewster up 9-2. Gatemen at bat right now. Robert Broom on the mound. His first pitch is in for a ball. So 1-0 count to Robert Metz, third baseman for the Gatemen. Second pitch, a strike for Robert Broom. It's a 1-1 count. Metz has struck out today, grounded out, but he does have one RBI single. Third pitch, a high ball on the right side for Robert Broom, so it's a 2-1 count. Metz from Poolesville, Maryland. He'll hit one up the right side, and that will bounce off of Chandler Taylor's glove and stay fair, and he'll make it all the way to second. Robert Metz showing some speed, getting a double off a little blooper from Chandler Taylor's glove. It just went out of bounds.
That is scored a hit. And as much as that is a hit, that's not the best play there from Taylor. That was certainly within his range, took a stab at it. And that's been the story for Brewster at first base defensively this year. Seen a few different players take that position. And so far, no sure hands. Coach Shevchik, of course, eagerly awaiting the arrival of Infante.
Tanner Dotson in the box for the Gatemen. First pitch from Broom's a ball, 1-0. Runner on second in scoring position for the Gatemen. They're down 9-2. This would need to be a huge inning for them. Second pitch fouled off for strike one. That will go into the trees on the left side. Dotson has walked twice today. Did strike out. One count for Dotson. Broom taking his time on the mound. The 1-1 pitch in for ball two, so it's 2-1 count. Tanner Dotson.
Ignore the airdrop I just sent you.
Top of the ninth inning. Whitecaps lead the Gatemen 9-2. Fouled off is that pitch. Tanner Dotson evens the count 2-2.
Sure has been a great night for Brewster's bullpen here. Robert Broom coming in. This is the start of his second inning of work. We saw 2 2/3 innings from Pagnozzi and Tribuker combined. No runs allowed from either of those guys. They didn't walk a batter either.
Still 3 more outs to go before the Whitecaps can call this a win. Broom strikes Dotson out. Gets him swinging. So that's out number 1, just as I said that. 2 more to go in this game. That's Robert Broom's second strikeout of the game. Next up, Ben Baird, shortstop, batting 9th in the lineup. First pitch from Broom just misses for ball 1, 1-0 count.
This is a game that I think has really followed Jamie Shevchik's blueprint to a T for Brewster. Some big hits, a couple of the power bats, Trejo and Taylor going yard. The bullpen doing some excellent work in relief of McDermott.
1-0 pitch is hit right to the first baseman, Chandler Taylor, and Broom runs in there. And it looks like he is out. Robert Broom able to get to first just in time. Heads up play by the pitcher there. Got a little dish from his teammate. And that's out number 2, 1 away from a Brewster Whitecap win. That'd be 2 in a row for the Whitecaps. They would move to 4-2-1. Brandon Lockridge pinch hitting for the Gatemen. First pitch to him is a ball, so it's a 1-0 count. Robert Broom in relief for the Whitecaps. This is his 3rd appearance in a Whitecaps uniform. Second pitch fouled out by Lockridge. This is an even count at 1.
We do have that run around third there as Metz moved over on that ground ball to the right side off the bat of Baird.
Broom getting set for the third pitch. The 1-1 is out on the right corner. So it's a 2-1 count to Lockridge, the pinch hitter. Taking over for Jaron Duran, who had a bit of a tough outing, got struck out twice and did have a double, grounded out. And Broom catches Lockridge, gets him swinging on an outside corner pitch, and so it's a 2-2 count. One strike away from ending this game is Robert Broom. Two-two pitch is low, and that's in to make the count full. 3-2, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on third for the Gatemen. But Brewster leads 9-2. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Broom getting set at the mound with the 3-2 pitch, and he got him. Strike number 3. Robert Broom retires the final batter of the day, and Brewster takes a 9-2 win. That's 2 in a row for the Whitecaps.
Terrific win for the Whitecaps. They get a couple of homers from Trejo and from Chandler Taylor. They put 9 runs and 16 hits on the board. And I think the most impressive thing from this game was Brewster's bullpen. They come in and face a Wareham offense that put up 10 runs less than 24 hours ago and silenced them. Terrific outing from Pagnozzi, Tribuker, and Broom. And McDermott wasn't too shabby either, starting off on the mound for Brewster. So good pitching and good offense. It adds up to a significant victory for the Whitecaps.
Well, a solid outing on both ends. We'll have more to recap this game when we come back. We'll also have we'll talk to some players, talk to the coaches. Stay with us. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Well, we're back. Brewster took home a 9-2 victory over Wareham, and our own Aiden Doyle is with Cesar Trejo, who had a 2-run homer and a single today. Aiden, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Here with Cesar Trejo. Cesar, first home run in the Cape League, an absolute shot out the left center field. What was working for you up at the plate today?
Well, basically I was just trying to stay within myself, not trying to go up or do too much, Earlier, my bat before that, I kind of had gotten myself out on like a fastball count. I kind of chased one, so I just reminded myself, stay within yourself, trust your hands, and, I put a good swing on that pitch, and,
After some early struggles defensively, it seems as though the team has found its footing. What do you think has gone into that?
Well, our guys work hard. A lot of teams, they just like to hit before the game, the hit. But, we work with a lot of coaches, and, all the guys are in there not only just hitting before the game, but getting ground balls, fly balls, all that. So, that probably has to do with it and just, working hard, I guess.
You take on the Catuit Kettleers here at Stony Brook Field tomorrow. You dropped both games of a doubleheader to them earlier in the season. So far, your only 2 losses. What has to go differently tomorrow to come out of here with a victory?
Well, if I can remember correctly, we mishandled a couple balls there. So I guess if we just play our game, pitch the ball, stay within ourselves and just trust ourselves, hopefully we'll be able to come out on top, just field the ball, catch the ball, and hit the ball.
All right, Cesar, thanks. Congrats on the win.
Thanks,
Back to
Aiden.
you guys.
And as Aiden mentioned, the Whitecaps are back at home at Stony Brook Field for the 3rd day in a row. They'll play Catuit at 5 o'clock tomorrow. And as always, we have the call.
Yeah, both of those games in Catuit, those doubleheaders, both decided by 1 run each. And Cesar was saying, if you remember correctly, he remembered correctly when he was talking about those plays that went the wrong way. 2 errors in the 8th inning of that 7-inning game, and extra innings led to that winning run being scored in game number 1 of that twin bill. And then the second game was on a knife edge as well. Marty Costas had the one run for Brewster to give them the 1 run that they scored, but they wound up giving up runs in the 4th and 5th, losing that game by a final score of 2-1. So for Brewster, it could be perhaps an element of revenge when the Kettleers come to town here tomorrow, but I think for the Whitecaps, they'll just be thinking about improving that record to 5-2-1 with a win.
Once again, Brewster tops Wareham 9-2. This is the first time we've really seen the Whitecaps offense be consistent throughout more than just 1 inning, and one of the guys responsible for that is Michael Curry. Our own Aiden Doyle has him right now. Take it away, Aiden.
Thanks, Maura. Here with Michael Curry. 3 hits today, 3 RBI off of 3 different pitchers. What an incredible offensive performance, but really what stood out to me was the fact that you did it against a different arm each time. Did the approach change at all, or is it just going up there with the same mentality against different pitchers?
No, I think that's the biggest thing, is just having the mentality. My last 2 ABs, my first 2 ABs, I just didn't have the right mentality, and then I finally said, I kept thinking about my mechanics instead of just getting up there and swinging. So I changed my mentality a little bit, made adjustments mentally, and just went after it.
Being a catcher for the Bulldogs, you faced one of your teammates in Blakely Brown. You obviously got the best of him with an RBI single. How much did that factor into it, having caught him before?
Yeah, no, I could tell he gassed up on that first one. That first one he threw pretty hard, but so I thought that was funny. But no, it's just like any other AB. It was fun, though. It was fun facing him. It was hard. I didn't want to make eye contact with him. I thought I might smile or something, but no, it was cool facing him.
And you come over here smiling, laughing, joking with the guys. Obviously, it's still relatively early in the season, but it seems to be a pretty good mood in this Whitecaps dugout. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, winning's fun. Absolutely, there's no way around it. Winning's fun. Winning makes everything better. But, yeah, we're really starting to come together as a team, which is good.
All right, Michael, thanks. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Aiden. And 3 RBIs for Michael Curry. He did have an RBI that tied the game up yesterday, so he's really had 2 really solid games in a row, Carter. Something you really like to see from your designated hitter.
Well, that's something interesting to hear from him, where he's just talking about mental adjustments, saying, I'm not going to think about my mechanics. I'm just going to go up, try and put bat on the ball. That's something really interesting, and it kind of gives you an insight to what these players are going through. These are all great players. There's a reason why they're all in the Cape Cod League. They're terrific talents, but every one of them has to make sure that they're right mentally when they go in and pitch or go in and hit. And it can be tough when you're in a new environment with teammates, a lot of whom you never met before, sometimes with an opponent that you know very well on the mound there for Curry. I love what he was talking about, not making eye contact with the hurler, the fellow Bulldog. That's what every player is going through right now. And Brewster, with this 4-2-1 record, with winning every day of the year except for that twin bill in Catuit, it shows that right now these guys have been able to make those mental adjustments and have been able to, as Cesar Betrayal was saying, kind of stay within themselves and keep cranking out the hits that they have needed to get to win ball games.
Nick Dunn and Marty Costas, a pair of Maryland players, also getting RBIs for the Whitecaps. And then obviously another homer from Chandler Taylor, a 2-run shot, again, 3 home runs in 2 days. I'm sure Coach Shevchik is very happy with that from a temporary player who maybe we didn't see this coming from. And just as I say that, we have Coach Shevchik here with Aiden Doyle. Aiden, take it away.
Thanks, Maura. Here with Coach Shevchik. Big win today, 9-2 over the Wareham Gatemen. J.R. McDermott got the start. You said taking it start by start now after his first outing against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. How would you evaluate his start today against the Gatemen?
I don't think he was as sharp as he was against Hyannis, but he pitched well enough for us to win. I mean, I think hopefully if the way our offense has been rolling, if we can hold them to 2-3 runs, we're always gonna have a chance to win. We didn't shoot ourselves in the foot at all today for the most part, and we just had 16 hits today was awesome. We're not going to roll that out there all the time, but he pitched well enough to give us a chance to win for sure.
And the bullpen doing a stellar job after he came out of the game. Can you speak to that, just how much confidence you have in the guys down the left field line in the bullpen after you take out your starter?
I love our bullpen. I think our pitching staff is going to be really, really good. What you're going to see, obviously starting tomorrow, you're going to see guys that pitched out of the bullpen early bounce back into the rotation. Losi and Lingenfelter will be in the rotation. That puts the 2 lefties, Avadano and Tribuker, into the bullpen. Plus, we've got a couple horses that aren't even here yet, after the World Series. So that's going to solidify our bullpen even more and free us up to move some guys into the rotation.
The offense, obviously, today with 9 runs. You have nearly your entire offense here already, obviously waiting on Julian Infante. And you've talked so much about temporary players making it difficult for you and the coaching staff to make decisions on who to keep and who to let go. How difficult are those decisions becoming after today's offensive explosion? Extremely hard.
Cesar Trejo and Chandler Taylor are temporary players, so we've got to find some way to keep those guys. It's going to be hard to let a guy like that go. So it's up for grabs. I mean, this is the thing that keeps me up at night, trying to figure out what the position player roster is going to be in the next week or so.
All right, Coach. Thanks. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Aiden. So, Brewster moves to 4-2-1 on the year, and Wareham drops to 3-6 so far this season. Still a lot of baseball to play, including tomorrow against Cotuit at home. That starts at 5. But as of now, as Coach said, a stellar performance in the bullpen and from the starters for the Whitecaps. And then tomorrow, Tony Losi set to go, the Georgia Bulldog, to get his first start on the mound. What have you seen, Carter, that's really impressed you from this bullpen and from the starters for the Whitecaps?
They've been dependable. They've been horses, like Coach Shevchik was saying. When you've got a team like this with guys coming in and out and temporary players abounding for performances, one thing you look at is how dependable the guys are, and we've seen a bunch of that today. We saw today McDermott, Pagnozzi wound up getting the win, Tribuker and Robert Broom coming in and doing terrific in their outing and as a whole for the pitching staff. So, I love the comment from Coach Shevchik about how he might be staying up at night. I know he was talking about position players, but there are some guys in the bullpen that are doing an excellent job too, and that's what you need. Listen, if you got a bullpen that can put up zeros and an offense that can put up runs, you're going to win a lot of games no matter what league you're in. That looks like that's what's happening right now with Brewster.
Well, a problem that probably makes some other coaches around the league a little envious who to keep. They got so many good players, so that's a good sign for Jamie Shevchik and his squad. Well, that will about do it here from Stony Brook Field. I'm Maura Sheridan alongside Carter Waddell. We have Aiden Doyle on sidelines and Koki Riley, as always, giving us some stellar updates. We'll catch you tomorrow at 5 o'clock right here, same time, same place. Different team, though, against Cotuit. For the last time for today, you're listening to Whitecaps Baseball.